My name is Agyemang-Rawlings, and this is Good Afternoon Ghana, coming live to you from the Agyemang studio here at Northridge. Let's get into our headlines for this afternoon. Two-week extension to file a response in a case brought by civil society group Democracy Hub in relation to government's ongoing practice of deporting foreign nationals. Suspects involved in the violent shooting incident at Ahirase in the eastern region are set to appear in court today. We'll be going there live. We will also bring you our Business Edge segment this afternoon with a focus on the Pilgrims Affairs Office Ghana and a conversation with the Minister for Labor and Employment. So this and more coming up now. Please stay with us. Thank you very much for keeping us company. My name again is Agyemang-Rawlings. Let's now get into the details of the stories. The Vice President, Prof. J. Nana Agyemang, says Ghana is championing an inclusive development where all can thrive. She was speaking during the meeting with members of the Ghanaian Association in Lower at Drake University. The Vice President has joined the 2025 Norman E. Bolang International Dialogue in the U.S., where she will today address the world leaders and experts on global food security and sustainable agricultural development.
Let me continue by bringing everybody greetings from His Excellency the President of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama. And this is because he thinks not only of us in the country, but regardless where Ghanaians are, he thinks of all of us too. And some of us find that very, very important to recognize that Ghanaians live everywhere. I heard in one of the presentations that Ghanaian students are found everywhere. And that is a source of pride, at least for me, who has spent so much of my life on the campuses. So one may ask, so what are we about? Ghana is about ensuring that there is inclusive development. That is, that our focus is on bringing everybody towards the center. We know those who are in the center, we know those who are not there. So the focus is on those who are not there. Therefore, using power means empowering those who don't have the power through whatever means. And for some of us, that is the meaning of politics. The strategies will be many, but we want to focus on four main areas. The first is job creation. We have a youthful population of whom we are very proud. We know they are brilliant. All they need is a little bit of helping hand. And how are we doing this? We are doing this on many levels, but mainly through agricultural transformation. We are also interested in agribusiness. It's a very long chain.
Away from that, the High Court has granted the Attorney General a two-week extension to file a response in a case brought by civil society organization Democracy Hub. This follows the state's failure to respond to both the main writ and an application for an interlocutory injunction despite being duly served. The application, led by Oliver Baka Vomawo, convener of Democracy Hub, seeks to restrain government from deporting foreign suspects, mostly Chinese nationals, without first prosecuting them under Ghanaian law. The case, filed under suit number DJ0887-2025, lists the Minister for Interior and the Ghana Immigration Service and the Attorney General as defendants. According to court documents obtained by Metro News, Democracy Hub contains the government's ongoing practice of deporting foreign nationals involved in illegal mining activities, violates both the 1992 Constitution and the Minerals and Mining Act 2006, that's Act 703. The organization argues that such deportations undermine Ghana's commitment to environmental justice and the rule of law. Edem Tusa, associate lawyer for Merton and Everett, spoke to Metro News.
Despite the fact that the AG had been served on 17th October, they have failed to file a response to our application. They haven't even filed a response to the main writ we filed. But the court was gracious to give them time to file their affidavit in opposition to our application so that the application can be moved on the 10th of November. So hopefully by then they can file a response and then we can move application. So we're seeking an injunction to prevent the government from deporting non-Ghanaian citizens, specifically the Chinese who are engaged in galamsey activities. Because usually when they arrest these individuals, instead of prosecuting them, they just deport them back to their countries, and they claim that they are facing sanctions in their countries. But we are trying to make the argument that they should be prosecuted here and serve their sentences here before they are deported to their country. So we are essentially seeking an injunction to prevent them from being deported. So that's our hope. And hopefully the injunction is granted on the 10th of November.
Joined via phone by Edem Tusa, who is the associate lawyer of Metin and Everett. Good afternoon, lawyer.
Good afternoon.
And now, what specific provisions of the 1992 Constitution and the Minerals and Mining Act form the foundation of your argument against the state's deportation of these foreign nationals?
So the main provision in the Mining Act we are using is Section 99, right? So in the Amendment Act, it states that where a non-citizen is engaged in illegal mining, they are liable and on conviction to a fine or an imprisonment, a term of imprisonment between 20 and 25 years, right? And so we are saying that the deportation of these people without them being tried violates Section 99 of the Mineral and Mining Act. And then also the second basis being the Constitution is Article 17, right? Article 17 says that everyone is equal before the law. Like we all know this, that it provides for equality before the law. However, Ghanaian citizens who are found to have committed the offense of engaging in illegal mining are prosecuted in Ghana, but foreign individuals are deported to their countries without prosecution. And we are saying that this is unfair and it breaches Article 17 of the Constitution, since both parties are not being treated equally before the law. So those are the two provisions which form the basis of our action before the High Court.
Great. Now, how does this case advance the broader cause of environmental justice and also accountability in Ghana's fight against illegal mining?
So we all know the devastating effects of illegal mining, right? We've seen our water bodies and how it's affecting our crops and our lives generally, right? And so the purpose of this action, right, is to prevent these foreign nationals from being deported without being tried, right? Because if these people are not tried in Ghana and they simply get deported, there is no reason for other people who are not Ghanaian nationals to not engage in illegal mining. Because the thinking, right, could be that, oh, since I have, if I engage in illegal mining, the worst that happens to me is I get deported, right? And there is no deterrent sentence, nothing, right? And so if the court rules in our favor and these foreign nationals are prosecuted in Ghana, it creates a deterrence. And so people are not, incentivized, so to speak, to engage in illegal mining. So I think this is actually very important. And if we are able to succeed in this action, it will actually deter more foreign nationals from engaging in illegal mining.
Okay, now the state often argues that deportation is a faster and more efficient way to deal with illegal miners. How do you respond to that reasoning from a legal and governance standpoint?
No, I totally disagree with that reason. I even saw an article where they spoke about the fact that prison systems are overburdened and whatnot, right? But that is not a good enough reason. If the law provides that people should be prosecuted for a particular offense, right, then that is the right thing that should be done. It is not faster or more efficient. They claim that when these individuals are deported to their countries of origin, they are prosecuted over there for the offenses they committed in Ghana. But there is no proof, no documentary evidence, anything, right, that shows that these individuals are being prosecuted wherever they are. So I genuinely think, right, that it's a better option if they are prosecuted here. And it goes back to what I was saying with your second question, right?
Right.
If these foreign individuals are prosecuted in Ghana, it serves as a form of deterrence. And so other foreign nationals are not incentivized, so to speak, in engaging in illegal mining. If they see that, oh, my fellow non-Ghanaian citizen has been given a 20-year sentence and whatnot, right? It prevents them from wanting to engage in illegal mining. So I think that prosecuting them in Ghana would actually go a long way into reducing the number of people who decide to leave whichever country they are from and then coming into Ghana and engaging in illegal mining activities which they would not, ordinarily engage in their home countries.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. That was Edem Tusa, Associate Lawyer of Medicine and Everett. On the same story, activist Ralph St. William Afolas urged Ghanaians to rally around the fight against illegal mining, calling on government to intensify the fight against it.
It's very important, and you heard my fellow comrades speak about it. I think it is a concern not only to be for just democracy or fix the country people. This should be a concern for everybody. I think about a week ago, we saw thousands of people, young people on the streets of Accra just last Sunday celebrating, Satawale's birthday, which is equally very much important. But then we must also add our voices and our presence in some of the issues that we deem very important as youth of this country. And equally, recently I was speaking with one of the historian lawyers. Is it Mr. Anoche or something? Yeah. He just met me at the court right now as we're stepping out of the court, and one of the colleagues that was right beside him made mention that we've not heard you talk much about the Galamsey these days. And I asked her when was the last time she had her voices to this Galamsey struggles as well. I think it has been a struggle for just some few people who does not directly even get affected by the Galamsey like that. But then I think it is a collective effort that we all must put our energies in. Imagine today, Ghana Bar Association and a lot of institutions are all in demanding that no, this is a very much important issue that we must all add our voices. Imagine how it will be. This application was filed about some months ago, right? And today the state attorney is here demanding that some more months should be given to them to go prepare themselves. I don't think in any serious country that takes very much important in some of these issues should be joking with this. I think this is what the court should be speeding up, so that it becomes some kind of a law and a deterrent for people thinking that they can just move into the country and come and take us for granted. Ghana is a sovereign country, and as the constitution entreats us, every sovereign country has the right and the power to prosecute and jail people who comes into the country and do whatever they want. It's not acceptable. No country in the world would accept this. China, where these people who are much involved in Galamsey are coming from, when you have been involved in destroying any of their environment or their water bodies, you will face death sentence. Why is it that when you come to our own country and you destroy our water bodies or you engage in illegal mining, which of course many of them are into it in this country, they have been deported back into their country? I don't think it is right, and this calls for everyone who thinks that Galamsey fight is a very much concerned fight for us all as citizens to add their voices and make sure that there should be a straight law that the people who are firing the destruction of our environment and our water bodies should be dealt with in our country, just like any other persons are being dealt with when they do or they get themselves involved with this Galamsey issues. We are still fighting the Galamsey, but then prior we back our Our strength is very little, and we need majority of the Ghanaians, stakeholders, and a lot of institutions who are adding their voices to come together and let us fight this. It is not just about being on the street. It is also making sure that street laws are being set to deter people from doing the right thing.
From that, let's do some politics now. Minority Leader Alexander Agyemang-Rawlings has expressed concern that the majority appears to be withdrawing its support for the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2025, commonly referred to as the anti-LGBT bill. He noted that although the bill was listed on order paper to Tuesday, October 2025, 22nd, it was absent from Parliament's agenda. Now, Agyemang-Rawlings reaffirmed the minority's commitment to ensuring the bill is passed. The minority leader therefore slammed the majority in Parliament and government for their silence on the issue of the LGBTQ bill.
Nothing administratively in error. I dare say for the records, you force LGBT on the throat of the Akufo-Addo government. Today, you don't want LGBT. You would want it. Mube pepper. Mube pepper, papa. You use it to win election. Now, when your stakeholders, the international community, is warning you, you want to run away. Run to where? You now see governance. You are in the kitchen, you see the heat. I was there. We will plead with you. Let's manage this situation. You say no. Remember that hot afternoon? Agboja, as a chief whip. You remember that hot afternoon? When you suffocated me with third reading. You are laughing. Mr. Speaker, this bill.
What is the meaning of what you said?
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Sometimes when I look at majority leader, it's not easy. It's not easy. Mr. Speaker, what I'm trying to tell them is that, you see, when they were in opposition, they forced this bill on us. Even when it was in court, they say the bill must be signed into law. We heard President Mahama, His Excellency. He said, oh, the bill, he's seen it, but he's referring it to the Attorney General. That was January. And then there would be, they will look at the very clauses, the aspect of criminalizing it and bringing a conviction and sentencing where the person must suffer a jail term. The very thing that you wanted it, he said, oh, they have to look at it.
Still on politics this afternoon, MP for Tamale North, Alassane Sabiu Suhini, has addressed claims that the majority in Parliament had abandoned the anti-LGBTQ bill, arguing that such accusations are misleading. Speaking on Good Morning Ghana, he said that the NDC cannot be blamed for the delay in the bill becoming a law, with further explanation that the President had not signed it but also did not return it to Parliament as required, therefore dismissing the majority's criticism as politically motivated.
The NPP is out there marking their own, setting their own questions and marking it. So, for example, you have the minority leader on the floor portraying an incorrect view that the majority is against the passage of, the LGBTQ, the law that has become popularly known as, the bill that has become popularly known, because it couldn't become a law thanks to the NPP. So can you imagine the irony? Thanks to them, it couldn't become a law. We championed it. We passed it in the last Parliament. I'm getting there. I'm saying it's related. It's related. Okay. We passed the law, and then your president refused to, sign it. Actually said desist. The Parliament shouldn't bring the law near him. He didn't even go through the process of returning the bill to Parliament. Maybe if you had returned it to Parliament, it would have just been a process of Parliament look at. This president has committed to ensuring that the bill returns to Parliament appropriately and being dealt with. And then you are there shouting as if the majority have all of a sudden decided to abandon the bill. We haven't.
So that was the Honourable Member of Parliament debunking the minority claims. Now, away from that, the Managing Director of Ghana Water Limited, Adam Mutawakilo, has expressed concern over the continuous encroachments of the Kweve water treatment plant in the Volta region by a developer. Mr. Mutawakilo, speaking on a tour to the treatment plant, says despite several warnings to halt construction near the facility, the developer has paid deaf ears to the directives.
Press conference we had the day before yesterday, I did indicate that siltation, serious siltation at Peve and Agodome, and today we are here for you to see what is going on. A developer has decided to encroach deeply into the intake of the Peve treatment plant, and since we've been putting effort to get him stopped, we wrote letters to the minister, and subsequently myself and the executive secretary of PURC met the minister to discuss how this project can be halted to prevent further siltation of the intake. The minister did assure us that he will have a meeting with the stakeholders, and truly the Volta Regional Minister had a stakeholder meeting, and a letter was written to that effect to suspend all activities. So the contractor was asked to stop all activities in this intake. But it was like the moment that directive came, the further escalated the project. And so anytime it rains, the treatment plant cannot produce water for 3 days. And you can see the map. You see, the green one shows the turbidity. You can see how it shot up for this year since it started construction. Normally the turbidity is very low, around 5. But when the construction started, it went up, came down when he stopped, and then since he started, you see that it has shot up to about 140 NTU.
Now, in the wake of the recent youth violence in Ayawaso North, Municipal Chief Executive Haruna Mohammed Awal has pledged proactive measures to prevent future clashes, while joining the Farija Foundation to provide aid to over 150 widows in the municipality.
Municipal Chief Executive made the remarks during a community outreach event organized by the Farija Foundation, a non-governmental organization focused on empowering vulnerable groups in Ayawaso North. The initiative, which saw the distribution of food and financial support to widows, forms part of the foundation's broader mission to uplift women and youth through targeted interventions. Addressing the media, Mr. Awal condemned the recent violent confrontation between youth groups and emphasized that stakeholder engagement has already begun to ensure lasting peace and security in the area.
As of today, the Council of Zongo Chiefs, with the Member of Parliament for Ayawaso North Municipality, met with the commander of the Kotobabi Division, where they discussed a whole lot of issues in relation to the security within the municipality, which we are certainly going to take those recommended measures that were prescribed within those meetings, within that particular meeting, to be able to address such issues and then prevent it from reoccurring within the municipality.
Haja Farida, the founder and director of Farija Foundation, explained the motion behind the Widow Support Initiative, noting that poverty eradication and youth development are central to the organization's goal. She announced plans to introduce vocational training programs aimed at equipping young people with practical skills for sustainable livelihoods.
The 18, 19, those that completed SS and the university as well. I would love to meet with them, ask them what they want to do. We have some people, they've not attended any school, but they would love to do maybe, yes. So I would love to meet with them, to talk to them, for them to also share their problems with me, so that we will see the way forward. My husband is a wonderful man, and I've learned a lot from him. So this is not about party, it's about the community. He is the father and I'm the mother. We are to take care of everybody, everyone around the constituency.
Away from that, President of the Ghana Christian University College, Dr. Agyemang-Rawlings, has called on governments to prioritize the education of artificial intelligence by investing and equipping tertiary institutions in the country to run courses in AI.
Digital technologies and AI tools in our everyday lives in addressing societal and national challenges have become more essential in today's digital era. Despite the enormous benefits of AI, if not properly used, can adversely affect educational and national development. At this year's matriculation and graduation of the Ghana Christian University College, President for the Christian University College, Dr. Agyemang-Rawlings, says if AI is not properly utilized, it can impact the standard of education in the country.
We need to have a lot of engagement when it comes to the use of artificial intelligence. It's a very good tool, but it also comes with its own challenges, where now we have students not bothering to do their own research. Anything that you probably want to find now by way of information, right, at the click of the button you can get it. But I think that is not the way it should be. So we, for example, as an institution, we have begun a certificate program in artificial intelligence, and we are ready to improve upon it, whether to move to a diploma level with it and maybe one day get accreditation to run it as a major, let me say, degree program. We have begun somewhere, and we are hoping that we will improve upon it. So it's an area that the world should be able to encourage.
Some graduates expressed their excitement after completion and promised to put knowledge acquired to good use.
I'm one of the youth leaders in the Deeper Life Bible Church, and having got this knowledge, we lead the young people. It will help me to understand them more, their psychology, their emotions, and how we can tailor programs that will help them to overcome the present challenges of our time.
I'm already a nurse practicing. I've practiced for over 10 years now. So I just came to do my top up, and I'm sure that with this top up and with this new knowledge that I have gained, it's going to help me to improve on the services and the quality of service that I render to my patients.
The best performing students and teaching staff were recognized by awarding them for their exceptional commitment.
Now, away from that, reports reaching Metro News indicate one person is dead while 4 others are receiving treatment for gunshot wounds following a violent clash during the Odra Festival at Ashirase in the Krapin South municipality of the Eastern region on Wednesday, October 22. Police say 34 suspects have been arrested and are currently in custody at Ebri, assisting with investigations. A pump-action gun and a pistol have also been retrieved from the scene. According to the police report, the incident occurred when the Aboko Mahima of the Asona family, Nana Semeshia Asakrofa, performed traditional rites to leave the ban on drumming and noise making to officially begin the Odra festival. However, a dispute reportedly broke out between the Abokomahini and the Abimuhini of the Ashirasi over who had the authority to perform the ritual. To bear acquainted with the original TV is joining us with some updates. Good afternoon to you, Kofi.
Helen. Helen.
Tell us what exactly is happening at Ahirasi now following the shooting incident.
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear us?
Yeah, your voice is very far. I can't hear you at all. It's very, very far.
Okay. Kofi, can you hear me clearly now?
So if I can
Okay, so now what's happening at Ahira say after the shooting incident?
Okay, the incident happened yesterday, if you can hear me.
Great, go ahead.
Hello, Helen.
Please go ahead.
The incident happened yesterday, and then the suspects were arrested. About 34 suspects were arrested. So today they have been arraigned at the Mampon District Court, and a judge is on to hear their side of the case. And some of the families and traditional authorities from Ashura is here. Earlier on, we spoke to some of the family members, and here's what they said. What did
Many are non penny who ask him, no ni ho, and ask them is see it, or no better so I, who fear you ma abe fear be jolly, no so pay diane, abba bidi. And is here, you. Ain't he? And you're non quampo. Pane boy back, and then 9 million in her. Nanka miniano crank one to simple Nanki yen question. Son and what's his saying to send you, yes, or more prepare. Yes. Neyera, I know a jam of Frana man on one or sham of Fran. Now, me who say I can indeed.
See if I'm a woman,
Mpacho you court or matching crofuni and abba court or no. Yen no more communion and so much on TV. Any of the near question.
And sending now and pay police for a catch them with their fasting.
Oh, police station where you call on me. Yes, and the police for Baho be brave. And penny for mobile on best stop way by ye me. Near Beccanano. Ain't in made me name the entia and pennyfono, a sisa, ain't in pennyfono. Nana, any drank on unknown a beer, ubehunie, a namoso, and a bar, and tokana. Inti.
Needed day.
Nana quesi.
I'm fearing.
45.
That's it. It's way a mamma, just an India, Berma, and wrote you can or should I say, or Jura fashion, and I'm paying for one Casabit to me, actually Mukakra, in Samono, Senia, at no quite a woman, at Samonia, that didn't know for a moment, and I'm one Casawa, Nana, wait what Aroma, Yamaquab, and Pacho within.
Yo, mede nana ode me wo Ashrase traditional council Agyemang-Rawlings. Na de tenene se Ashrase no yo yebutu adai. Na yebutu adai wi a wo bue adai. Na enra nananom ye kenkan enna no na enra ukuda na ye rebue adai. Na se na adai bue no ete ewo Ashrase. Nananom asuna na wo butu adai. Nananom asuna ebutu adai wobutu adai ema wobue adai na nea oye ho adwuma nana Agyemang-Rawlings na nana Agyemang-Rawlings se ogobue adai ewo nananom asuna ahemfi nokware na menteme ho ase ahyase ewo ehonom nti nananom hwe ma ye kan ema wode yiye tu yiye ama nana Agyemang-Rawlings ebue adai asumdwe mu na obu adai a ewo se osan ede adai no ekọ kurowura eye osaberema na nkasa enhyeda apomodene enkoyiye inti acting chief eye nana opare kwafo ewo se nana Agyemang-Rawlings ede adai bue no ekoma no na nananom asona efo eye Agyemang-Rawlings enene nana mankrado esore no na ewo se wo mu nkonwa a wo betena so no wo de kọ nananom asechirefo efi ana se yew efi na nkonwa fam no ene ye se emrante no enko no wonko fa nana amankrado nana tufuhene asona ehemia ene nana ban mu a obutu adai no wo mu nkonwa
mfamra eye nananom asechire fi ehwonom no na mranti bi anokware se yehwe se dia wonti so ene wo mo ahofa no ete a yesusu se wonfi kurom honom ebeto hye mrante so ba ni nyinara no na eye ohene baako na ne din edi akotene pa ewo mu ono no enam bribi nti yempese yede ne din ebetugwa enti enam saa wantwi ni mu no de ayete na etuo akasa ba no kware enra ahwerase brisi bo ahwerase yante asempa ba ni nyinara mu no yeda eye asrafo sojafo policefo ene immigrations wobebo yen ho eban ba ni nyinara mu na ewo se yema the law the appropriate law no eteki charge inti ema ye to nsa e de frɛ eye security foi ema no kware wo kyere nipa dodo onara me no ka sei enra etuo eka mea no kware oye osomfo pa wo ahwerase ono no osom me bi ye frɛ no nana kwasi etuo eka no enye se wo si medi achi fi ashase akopem emre oye den oto ase nti nana kwasi de me no ka sei onka yen ho waka nananom ensa na ne titiri mu nso no ebinom so prepraye na opra no nokware na ebi ani eye nyane ba ni nyinara mu no ye hwei ma won a ewo se woyi won no ye yi won ba na owura ne baako ono no nso ye frɛ no eye Mr. Wiafe ono no ne de no na eno nso ani esoson kakra nti anadwo beye du baako erekɔ no ono doctor for hwe no metumi hu se na hwe na ntumi anyeye nti moja be sha se den etu no nti ye wo chip center bi wa hanom no kware ye de ne ye den ekoye ama ena no pay metu anamo akohwe no
obebisa se ne ekos wa hwerase no eyade ho de dada wo ebia hinsemu ntawantawa na se nrankuto ene ne edikan a mo hu biribisa ewo dwira afahye ne twa ne mu no kware ahwerase eye kuro bi wo hwe ekuapem amountain indunson ni nyinara mu ahwerase ye asumdwei ekuro ye hu bi saada ye nti bi saada na nra ne ye nim ne nti eye den eba.
Now, Kofi, tell us, what are the preparations for the rest of the activities for the festival?
Let's say it has been solved. I don't know what.
Kofi, what are the preparations for the rest of the activities for the festival?
What am I saying? That's the preparation.
If you can hear me, Kofi.
Right. So we are currently at Ekropong where the Ojra Festival is still ongoing. Today is the 4th day for the Ojra, and there are so many activities that has been outlined for the to climax the final Deba that will be held tomorrow. So we are expecting a lot of people and a lot of dignitaries for this year's Ojra Festival. The special guest of honor for this year's Ojra Festival is His Royal Majesty Agyemang-Rawlings from the northern region. He is a special guest of honor. We've been speaking to the Agyemang of the Okapehene, and he has been explaining to us some of the activities that has been outlined, and then a whole lot of things that has been embarked. So let's hear from him.
All right.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kofi, for the updates there. Now, that be all for the news on today's edition of Good Afternoon, Ghana. My name is Helena Nyoja. Thank you.
Afidang to say Nayetiasi. When we ask when we say Ojra, people will ask questions. That is what you want to know now. This is what is really Ojra. Ojra is like, when we say Ojra in Akan language, it's like purification. Before the white will bring their calendar, we have our traditional calendar. The traditional calendar, we end it by the 9th, the last one is the 9th, like we say 9th month. But we call it, we calculate 40 days as a month, which is every Adai is a 40 days, it's like the end of the month for us. That's why we celebrate Adai in a can system. So the Adai, the 9th one is the Ojra. So the 8th one, we bound noise making, and we allow everybody to go and prepare for the Ojra. So that is it. The Monday, when you prepare, and it's the 9th, which is the Ojra, is the time that we go and clear the path to invite our ancestors, our heritage, for them to come and celebrate the Ojra with us. So that is how the Ojra is. The Monday we clear the path, and then the Tuesday, because the new yam, which is normally call it puna. When it comes and it's fresh and you eat it, I think you're going to have a running stomach. So what we do is that when the new yam comes, we keep it for 6 weeks before it will be outdoor. Those that are exactly 6 weeks is the time. That is the Ojra Tuesday, which is the second day of the Ojra. So we outdoor the new yam. By that time, it's matured for everybody to enjoy it. So we outdoor the new yam, and afterwards, the Bemuhine, the Eduhine, and the Jasefo and Amamprobi will go to where the first settlement of our ancestors, to go and invite the ancestors to come and join us to celebrate Ojra.
Okay, so we've done all this. Can you tell us today, as the 4th day, what are we going to do today as the 4th day of the Ojra activities?
Because I was at the 2nd day, and then you asked me this question. So after the 2nd day that they brought the Ojra, the 3rd day is the day that we remember our ancestors. So the 3rd day, we don't eat, we drink, we remember our ancestors like a funeral. So there is a ban on fufu that day. So today is the feasting day. Today is the day that we have put down as a feasting day for every family. So when you pass around, you hear a lot of scents around, aromas around. So today is the feasting day. So while they are feasting, Okuapini will also sit in state, and then anybody who wants to come and pay homage or have a gift or a support for him, he will sit in state, and you come and do that. And afterwards, where the settlement of our ancestors, will go there to also go and feed them. So we'll go there with our oto, our water, our schnapps, to also feed our ancestors. So that is when, after the Ukapeni stand from the state, that's when it's going to be continuing. And Ukapeni will still come back again. For the people that they went to feed our ancestors, they will come and give him reports that they have done the job that he sent them to go and do. So when around that time too, it's only virgins that they use them to carry the food, because we believe that our ancestors are holy. So we cannot feed them just anyhow. So we use virgins to carry their food to go and feed them. So after the Thursday, the Friday is the Grand Deba, that the king will sit in state, invite the government official, invite dignitaries for them to come, and then he will give them his objective and his future plans, what he wants to do for Akuapem and what's the state of Akuapem, so that he will request the government to come and support him for development. And then the Sunday is the Thanksgiving Day. So the Sunday, no church in Ekropong is going to open their church building. Every church, Roman Catholic, Pentecost, Presbyterian, every church is coming to the Deba grounds so that we give thanks to the Lord. And then the following week, Friday, that is when Ukapini is going to eat the new yam. So the Akrahini will come and bless him in the morning, and then in the evening, the Ukapini will sit in state, and all his chiefs will come and bless him for next year, so that we will receive the blessing for next year to start another year. And then the Saturday is the Adeshe tournament. Since Ukapini came, he has made a foundation that they used to help the needy, brilliant by needy students. They have used it to do a lot for people. So during the Saturday, which is after the feeder Fofie, they are going to organize a golf tournament, which is a district tournament at Safari Valley, and they are going to raise funds to put in the foundation's coffers so that it can help a lot to cater for the needy but brilliant students.
So how do you see the Odria Festival this year? How has it been?
It has been a special one, and this year is amazing. I think you have heard a lot of things on the social media, but it's amazing. It's amazing. I'm even shocked. I'm even shocked. Even today, Thursday, you can't even have a way to bring your car through. Normally, it happens from Friday, but today, even yesterday, how to even drive through, it's not easy. So it's amazing. And we call for everybody who is not here yet that everybody is welcome. I wish everybody a Frishiapa. And we're going to start a new year, a fruitful new year, and God bless everybody, and then God grant anybody his wish. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nana. Thank you, Nana.
This is where we end the news updates here on Good Afternoon Ghana. My name is Helen Anyeweja. We are going for a break, and when we do return, Emmanuel Kwesi will come through with Business Edge. Do stay with us.
I just want to hear. Welcome to season 2 of Play by Ear. Make some noise! This is the only show all you need is your ear to win some cash. When I say Play by Ear, what you say?
His uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame? As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Trotro from Kaswa. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be later?
Of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. Yeah, you go be the luckiest. Copy from to jet be luckiest. From not the cause she be luckiest. Me and you go be luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest. Everybody go be the luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Send your God up boom. If you put it to you, so would the coming of the Son of Man be.
Hey!
Is that his car?
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompt and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Victory, celebration, legacy. It's 40 years of Jesus is our victory. Join Victory Bible Church International for the Wonderful Jesus Conference 2025. A power-packed celebration marking 40 glorious years of God's faith and God's grace. It all begins on Saturday, 12th October with the Mega Praise and Worship Night. A night of pure gratitude and praise. Then get ready for the Wonder Walk on October 25th. A citywide walk of testimony and victory. From October 27th to the 30th of October, the Wonderful Jesus Conference continues live at the VBCI Dominion Sanctuary, Awoshi Junction. Expect nothing but divine encounters, miracles and transformation. On October 31st, meet us at the Independence Square for a nationwide gathering of worship, power and the Word. Then on November 1st, join the outreach program at Mancho Agbona. Then let's touch lives and share the love of Jesus Christ. And finally, the grand service at the Independence Square on November 2nd. Come and witness the glory of 40 years of victory. Ministering are Bishop N.A. Takiyaboy, Bishop Clement Amankwa Isehene, Bishop Elijah Saforo, and Bishop Emmanuel Akon. Wonderful Jesus Conference 2025. 40 years of grace, power, and impact. From the 12th of October to the 2nd of November. Victory Bible Church International invites you to celebrate Jesus, because Jesus is our victory.
Right, it's time for Business Edge, and I'm happy to be here. I'm sure you're happy to be joining us this afternoon as well. We see the interest that's growing, of course, in the afternoons on Business Edge when it's time for Good Afternoon Ghana, how you tune in, and the text messages that you send us. We're always grateful to you for your participation in the show every Tuesday and every Thursday. So just gone by, it's the news segment. There is a lot happening in the Eastern region, precisely the Ujra, and you can trust Metro Television, the Ignite Media Group, Original TV, Original FM, and Metro TV for an extensive coverage. That's how come we had to extend our news a bit so that we can give you or bring you up to speed with what's happening exactly, point by point, item by item, what is happening from Ashrasi or from Ebri to Ashasi, to Manfi, to all of those places within the enclave that is seeing the trooping in of the presidency, of the chieftaincies across the country, the kings across the country, the number of people that will be trooping in for the Ujra. Please, your point and your stay, your place to stay is right here on Metro TV. It's right on Original TV. It's right on Original FM. And remember also that we are doing all of this in celebration also of the Pink October. Tell your wife, tell your girlfriend, tell everybody to visit the hospital and get their breasts checked. It's now time for Business Edge. I have quite an exciting interview for you this afternoon because the person I'm going to talk to, he's a veteran communicator, veteran journalist, veteran everything within the media space, and he's been appointed to the Ghana Pilgrims Board. I'll be talking to him about what's going to happen this year and what their plans are, and even apart from the pilgrims by the Islam Society, what happens to the other beliefs? I'll be asking him that. So you want to stick and stay with me this afternoon. I'll quickly begin with that of the performance of the local currency against the major trading currencies, and then I'll come to this interview, and we'll come back to an interview that we have played part of for you before, the interview with the Minister of Employment. We'll come back to do the second part of it. So stick and stay with us. Let's see how the city is performing against the major trading currencies. So we'll begin with the US dollar. Please, if we have the US dollar, let's have it on the screen. And of course, the performance has been quite resounding. I can confidently say so, based on the statistics from the Bank of Ghana's average interbank exchange rate. And so the city, the dollar is buying for 10 cedis 72 pesos, and it's selling for 10.73 pesos. That's how the dollar is doing, or the cedi is performing against the dollar on the market. Let's quickly do the British pound sterling. The British pound sterling, again, a resounding performance by the cedi, 14.33, and then it is selling for 14.34. That's quite some good news, for especially, I keep mentioning, the freight forwarders, the importers, the exporters, the expatriates, the people that are doing businesses that have to do with handling monies that are not the cedi. Let's see the euro. The euro is buying for 12.45 and it's selling for 12.46. 12.46. So that's how the cedi is performing against the major trading currencies on the market. So let's come back to the studio. I'm happy that I am quoting for you figures from the average interbank exchange rate of the Bank of Ghana. These figures that we have quoted for you are from the Bank of Ghana. I'm mentioning the Bank of Ghana because this coming Tuesday, Metro TV will be doing a live coverage of the Bank of Ghana's 60th anniversary. They call it the cedi. We'll be celebrating the cedi, not the Bank of Ghana itself, but the cedi celebration at the International Conference Center. On Tuesday, you want to stick and stay with Metro TV. We'll be bringing you all the analysis right from the morning show with my colleague Moro, who will be doing the show live from the Bank of Ghana and be telling you about the root of the cedi, the growth of the cedi, the handling of the cedi, the performance of the cedi as I've just read to you. We'll run through till the afternoon where Business Edge will also be happening, and then we'll be bringing you all the analysis. We have the experts who will come in. So Tuesday, remember that we are staying with the Bank of Ghana and we are bringing you a live feed. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You would learn a lot about the cedi, the fiscal policy when we talk about fiscal policy, when we talk about monetary policy, when we talk about MPC rate and all of those things. I'm sure you will get a better understanding of what it is. Let me come back to the studio now. And Alhaji is already seated. My guest for this afternoon has been appointed to the Ghana Pilgrims Board as the Director of Communications. And so, Alhaji Amin Lamte is my guest this afternoon. Alhaji,
Jeffrey,
thank you very much for joining me.
Missing you.
So long.
You've been my teacher when it comes to financial news in this country.
Alhaji,
I'm happy to be here.
That's
Unfortunately for me, we're not talking about financial, we're rather talking about Hajj pilgrimage.
Yes.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You look
good to see you. Alhaji, I'm happy to see you.
I'm also excited to see you.
You have been, again, the teacher. Let me also borrow your words.
I'm not a teacher, I'm a student of knowledge.
I mean, for a lot of up-and-coming journalists, for a lot of up-and-coming people in communication, PR practitioners, and so on and so forth, most of them have looked at you with your experiences right up to 2017 when you were on the board, Hajj board, how you used to meet us briefly, talk to us briefly, how everybody felt comfortable around you. We keep our phones with you, we call you every now and then, and all of the issues that would happen in Saudi, you were just there for us. Is it because you're a journalist?
Oh, first of all, Kwesi, I'm really happy to be here. Thanks so much to your production team and then those watching us and those also monitoring us on social media and those also listen to us. Kwesi, I think that let me thank you for seeing you because I've been monitoring you from afar. Today I'm closer to you. I mean, you're trying to chronicle events of what some of us did a couple of years ago with the Hajj board. Because I think that the most important thing is when you develop a clean heart and you understand what God has bestowed on you as a professional. So you and I veered into journalism. Yes, we love it. We have passion for it. But naturally, you could clearly see that we have some instincts that God has given us professionally. So for me, being part of the communication team of the Hajj board a couple of years ago, I've learned on the job, and I also try to demonstrate that I'm a journalist, apart from that as a PR practitioner, as a communicator. So it's all about trying to be very, very effective in your communication. How do you manage information? And there is one thing in journalism that we need to consider: minimizing harm. Yeah, I may see something that is newsworthy, but as a communicator, as a journalist, I need to minimize harm. I need not to report about it. So ethically, it was something that guided me during those days till date. Fortunately today, having said all about...
Congratulations to you for the appointment.
Thank you so much.
With all of that coming up, now you are the boss.
I'm
right
not
now.
really the boss.
You are the boss. I mean, for us, those of us who will be speaking to you every day about what's happening.
I'm grateful. I'm honored with this inspiring message.
But how do you do it? Beyond the communications, you are also more like an organizer. We see you here, we see you there. Apart from talking to the media, you're making sure things happen. I mean, from the experiences that we have with you, you're at everywhere, making sure the process is seamless. Supporting, of course, the board itself and all of. How do you do these things?
I could see it's all about proactive leadership. I could see you are seated live on television, and most of the things you are seeing is often you are seeing it, you know, extempore. We were not reading from anything. It's because before you came, you prepared for it. So in leadership, you need to be very proactive. Okay, when you are proactive, you know what to do at what time. There are situations that you need to delegate responsibility. You need to develop a system of check and balances. So being a leader in a department, you must also consider what we call interdepartmental communication.
Super.
Maybe the chief executive officer, we have the general secretary, we have director of operations, we have communications director, we have this, we have that. So as a communicator, you need to understand that there must be that kind of interdepartmental communication. If I'm going to talk about my boss, how am I going to say it? If I'm going to talk about issues related to financial management, how am I going to say it? So I could see that is what I normally do. And sometimes I'm always ready to learn on the job. So sometimes I try to lean on constructive criticism instead of destructive criticism. There are people that if you are engaging them in anything, you need to demonstrate what we call diplomatic communication. As an expert in PR, I could see when I'm dealing with you, sometimes I need not to just look at you and start saying everything instantaneously. I need to apply some diplomatic communication. And that is why sometimes when I listen to some of our brothers and sisters who are into corporate entities, if you listen to their communication, I think that they need to come back again.
They
have
need to come back
because in corporate communication, there are a lot of things that I see these days. And fine, yesterday you were a politician, today you've been appointed. Your communication style must change. But I see a lot of things that I wouldn't want to get into that. So I could see it all boils down to be a good learner. You don't correct your correctors. I could see you could be my corrector regardless.
No, you are a lecturer.
No, I know. I could see, but
let's place it. Let's place it
do you know
in
that
proper perspective.
Do you know that when I entered, you started a preamble. Yes, I've been a host before. I've been a broadcaster, but I can tell you that I've learned something from you, and that is how it should be. When you go to Saudi Arabia, you meet a lot of people from different countries, and their style of communication is not the same as yours. And that is where sometimes you need to look at culture identity. Back in Ghana, there could be an issue that affected more than 10 countries. But when you are reporting back to Ghana, it should be different. Not like the way Nigerians report their story, not like the way maybe Egypt, Saudi, whatever. So these are the things that I have learned, and that is what I'm always trying to bring to bear when I'm practicing what I'm doing.
Now you are at the helm of affairs. In fact, you will direct the conversations, you will direct the thought processes of people about the association. What should we expect of you?
No, I think that the good news is that I am grateful that my boss is the same boss. The man who managed me those days, the same person who's back into the saddle. And that is his second coming. You know, I can tell you the second coming is even more difficult than the previous one.
People, the expectations are high.
Exactly. Even His Excellency, the President, for him to reappoint him again, the expectation is very, very high. But it's manageable. It all depends on how to manage information, how to manage communication, how to make sure that you develop that skills of crisis management. In every crisis, I could see the most important element is number one, crisis analysis. When there is an issue about a pilgrim, or maybe here in Ghana or outside Ghana or wherever, how do you analyze it? Don't just take decision instantaneously. You need to manage the situation, analyze it. After analyzing the crisis, you need to get to the point of managing the crisis.
Yes, please.
Must I come out and say it, or I need to hold it on? And then from there, you move to crisis resolution. These are the things that we're going to do. But I can assure you that my boss, Alhaji Tanko Ibrahim, is such a wonderful personality. And I admire him. And I'm always more or less like trying to serve him with all the required credibility and credibility. Because himself, he has what I call corporate identity. He has corporate reputation.
I love the corporate identity.
Yeah, the corporate, exactly.
There's a question I'll ask you later on. That's why I'm happy about the description of the corporate identity. I'll come to that point. So please go.
So you see, so really the expectation is very, very high. But I can tell you, engage him with our incoming General Secretary, a graduate with masters, somebody with a very experienced person. I wouldn't want to let the name out now. We do everything by sitting down to analyze, set our priorities, what to say and what not to say. And we make sure that now payment have started. People have started paying. You know, previously it was 62,000 Ghana. The president has reduced it to 60,000 Ghana, and people are paying into the GCB account that will go into the Pilgrims Affairs Office of Ghana account, and then the process will start. So I can see the expectation is very, very high. But I just want to assure Ghanaians and Muslims in Ghana and beyond to understand that we are out here to do a good job. We need their support. There are individuals that will go masquerading as agents who are not accredited.
Thank you.
All these things will get to
Thank you. It's the same point. How are you going to deal with that? The individuals who would scam people, let me put it that way, or who don't have accreditation from you.
Okay.
So we are getting into the conversation, and we'll begin to take monies from people. How are you going to manage them?
No, we've really corrected that. And one advantage that we have as a board is that Saudi Arabia, they've also changed their system.
Okay.
They have a mechanism that when you go with the visiting visa, you will not be allowed to perform Hajj.
Okay.
That is point one.
Okay.
In the past, people have their own way of falsifying information. When you have an ID card for paid programs, they know how to go and have copies of it and give it to individuals to come in. You know, they will just come and lump up in your camp. But this time around, all these things will change. So now, even yesterday, I issued out a press statement with the list of 42 accredited Hajj agents.
Who can work on your behalf.
They can work on our behalf. And even now, payment will not be done at the Hajj village. You need to go to our bankers. GC.
Oh, wow.
Yes, even if you're an agent, they will give you a quote.
You won't take cash.
No.
There's no cash.
No. You have a number. They have a code that will give you as an agent accredited. They will cross-check you, verify you, and then before you pay, they have a number that will say that yes, you are the one. You're everything, and then you pay into our account, and that is it. Nobody will come to the Hajj village to say, I'm coming to pay cash to Amil Lamto or pay to the chairman. No, not even our financial officer. You need to go to the bank. So when we receive, the bank would keep us updated. Maybe today, 30 people have paid, the next day, 40 people have paid, and those who have paid, all we need is to get their passport. We have those that will pay direct, those that will pay through the agent. So when informations are there, we just need your medical.
You have the data. You can be able to work exactly with the data.
We have your data. We work on the data. We have your passport. We have your medical report, and the process will start. When everything is done, if you are a direct payer, then we will communicate with you. We have an officer that will take care of that to get you informed that on this day or that day you are going. Or maybe you've paid all right, but you have a problem. Maybe your medical report is not authentic. You could be rejected. Maybe you've paid, but you have a problem with your passport. There are individuals that could even pay early. But you see, sometimes their passport delay. So when your passport delay, and you have somebody who had paid even at a later stage, but the person has a passport, you will be sidelined, and that person will rather have a chance of going. So these are the processes that will go through.
Will the association support in some of these things? I want to go to Saudi. I want to go not as a visitor, but to go and perform Hajj. And I don't have a passport, but I've come to the association. Is there a way to help me out? I have the money. President has magnanimously reduced the amount, so now I can pay. And so I have the money. What will happen? Will you be able to
it's very simple.
Yes, sir.
Purely communication. So if you have interest, you want to send your mom, your dad, or anybody, if the person has no passport, it's just about connecting with an accredited agent. The agent, they have a way of dealing with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And because of the Pilgrims Affairs Office of Ghana, we've been giving them some introductory information
That's
that
the point
applying
I'm
that
for.
they can
That's
easily
the
get
point I'm
passport.
looking
Even
for.
with
So-
the hard board, they can help to process your passport.
So there is a dispensation
undoubtedly
with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Undoubtedly.
So you are coordinating with Ministry of Foreign Affairs and all other institutions that are relevant to.
But it depends on when you come, because when you delay,
of course, you can't come late.
Exactly.
I agree.
It is there for you.
I agree. So when is the next Hajj beginning?
Oh no, the Hajj it begins, I think, 2026.
Yes.
We all know the period. It's quite a bit dicey for me now to put it out. I know in the days to come.
Okay. But people have started paying now.
Oh, they've started paying.
Ahead.
Because I could see when you start paying early, it helps the Hajj board to know the quantum. Because our quota from Saudi is 6,782.
I was going to ask how many people you are expecting for
No,
this
6,782. So when you pay on time, they will know that our quota, we have just about 10%, 20% to go.
Yes.
They will know how to go about it.
Yes.
But if you don't pay on time, it really stuffs the Hajj board. Well, there are certain financial input that we need to facilitate the process. So if you delay in paying, it really brings a lot of challenges.
Disrupt your facilitation and the processing.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
Because we don't have anybody pre-financing. In other jurisdictions, you may have somebody coming out as a Muslim. I know Muslims, our target is 6,782. You may have somebody coming out to tell Alhaji Ibrahim, Tonko Ibrahim, that, you know what, I'm going to dole out this amount of money. You can start the process. Maybe afterwards, I will come for the money. There are situations that maybe sometimes too, if you have a very good individuals who can engage our bankers who are very sure that people will pay, they can go ahead and help us to pre-finance certain things for now. Maybe after everything, then they can claim their money.
As the Pilgrims Association of Ghana, are there challenges you are faced with currently?
There are challenges, numerous challenges. But the challenges did not start today. It started even before we had our independence under Nkrumah. There were so many challenges. Where I can even talk about when it came to former head of state, Ike Achampong. These were those days when Ghanaians traveled to Saudi. For Makkah, when they returned, their luggage and their things were confiscated from them by the military.
Yes.
You know, when it got to the period of Agyemang-Rawlings, it started, shaping up. When it came to during, Professor J. Moss, that was the time that he introduced the current president, John Dramani Mahama, to take care of Hajj processes. And they remember those days, Ghanaian Muslims will go, you see them, being manhandled at the airport and
in fact, sleeping around the airport with the mats, the people that had come from Tamale, Bolga. You would see them, there is no accommodation.
There is no accommodation.
There is no structure. The dates, they don't have proper dates. So they have come a week ahead.
Everything.
You see the airport.
I could see everything was done, without any planning. Haphazardly.
Yeah.
And then JDM, John Dramani Mahama, suggested the issue about Hajj Village.
Yes.
And that is where I keep saying that is the game changer. Is somebody who has really come to change the process of Hajj. With the Hajj Village, it started at the Elwak, close to the stadium.
Yes, I remember
and
clearly.
Then moved to the Kalkudi Park.
Yes.
From the Kalkudi Park to the current place.
Airport space.
Airport space. And now he has come out with the ultra-modern Hajj Village, close to where we were.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
So I can see, it tells you that we had a lot of problems. But now for me, having done all the research, being on the board for some time, the basic things that we need to identify to be able to correct some of these abnormalities. Number one, proactive leadership. And now
leadership.
Yes.
A lot of people come, forgive me, I'm happy about what you're saying. A lot of people come, we ask them what your problem is. I have written here funding. And their first point is funding. You think it's leadership?
It's not about funding.
Funding will be a problem.
No, funding will be a problem.
But for you think that it is leadership.
I can see if you are funding and you have poor leadership, what will happen?
Of course, you will mess up.
Exactly. So it's all about proactive leadership. And all the leaders who came to serve on the hard work, they are all proactive. But it depends on their game plan. It depends on their fortitude. You see, Honorable Alhaji Ibrahim Tonko, who has been brought back, it all boils down to historical antecedent. And as a communicator, I believe in all those who came and left. I believe in their proactiveness, leadership.
And their expertise.
There's a man that I believe in his proactiveness when it comes to leadership. What to do, what not to do, at what time, and what have you. The second point is effective communication. I can see you were trying to tell me what we did a couple of years ago with the current hard board chairman. yes, it's purely effective communication, because I was able to identify all the stakeholders, how to communicate with them, how to engage with them, how to make sure that if there are crises, how do we manage the crisis? If there are complaints from stakeholders, especially the pilgrims, how do we manage this crisis and what have you? And the third point is information management. This is one of the areas that we need to look at and be able to make the right
For
things.
that, we are happy
right
you are there.
Okay.
I mean, for the information management, we are happy that
Very well.
you are back. And so we know that the next Hajj will be seamless.
By His grace. And then the fourth point that you've raised as number one, for me, I don't think it's number one, is financial management. I could see Honorable Elijah Abdurrauf Tanko Ibrahim, for example. Somebody can decide that, Tanko, I'm giving you money to start the process. It is how he's going to manage the money. Manage it effectively and make sure that he will live up to his own expectation, financial management. And then from the financial management, I could see you come to crowd control. Crowd control not only in Saudi Arabia, right here in Ghana. Then you have the issues about logistics, you have issues about transportation, you have issues about accommodation. So these are the areas that when you identify them and you deal with the right people at the right time, and then you have the right facility, I could see, just develop that element of check and balances. Check and balances that even you as a leader, you need to check yourself and everything.
I'm sorry I have to cut you. Okay. I'm very sorry. I'm getting some very, very unpalatable news here. I'll come back to it for you to continue the... If you're watching us, there is this breaking news coming up. So let's just get to it. This is very sad. I must tell you, this is very, very sad. And breaking news coming from Metro TV is that the first lady of the I'm actually confused. That's the former first lady Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings. So she was the first lady in the Fourth Republic. So that's what I was trying to say. The first lady of the beginning of the Fourth Republic, Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings, has passed. That's the news which is just reaching us. It is sad. It is very, very, very sad for me. I'm just being told by my producer, and I can't seem to fathom or to hold myself together. I had the opportunity to report from the house, from everywhere. What it is that we are currently following up with the news to make sure that it is as it is. We are able to properly and fully confirm it. But that's the news which is currently going around. It's the breaking news as it is going around. The very first lady for the beginning of the First Republic, the Fourth Republic of Ghana, former First Lady Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings. She was the wife to our former President, His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings, who passed on during the COVID, and it was a very sad sight or news to behold. Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings was born on the 17th of November 1948. So if you would want to calculate her age will be about 71 years. So she was born on 17th November 1948, a Ghanaian politician. She's currently a widow because I announced to you that she 76 years. So the age is 76 years. From 1948 to 2025 is 76 years. And she was a Ghanaian politician, of course, a widow to former President Jerry John Rawlings. She was also the First Lady of Ghana from June 1979 to the 24th of September 1979. That was the around the military periods and so on and so forth, till we began the Fourth Republic. And from the 31st of December 1981 to the 7th of January 2001. In 2016, Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings became the first woman in the country here, Ghana, to run for president. You remember that she was a member of the National Democratic Congress. Her husband, Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, is the founder of the current ruling government, the National Democratic Congress, and she was a wife. That's how come she was the very first lady to the beginning of the Fourth Republic. And I mean, all of us, everybody in the country, most of the people, especially those who follow politics, have had to either learn from her or have an encounter, not directly, maybe an indirect encounter on TV, on radio, on observation, or however, with her. She's trained a lot of people, the 31st December women, and so on and so forth. She's somebody that has a record in the political history of Ghana. So she became the very first woman to run for president in Ghana. In 2018, she launched her book titled "It Takes a Woman." And she's been in the Ghanaian political space. Everybody has followed her. Let me tell you a bit about her early life and education. So Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings was actually born in Cape Coast in the central region of Ghana, November 17, 1948. If you have just tuned in and you've seen the former First Lady's picture on Metro TV, it is reported that very unfortunately, the breaking news we are bringing to you is that very unfortunately, the First Lady, former First Lady Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings has passed. The production team, including our MD himself, is really on the ground now, making sure that what we are giving you is properly confirmed. But that's the breaking news as we bring you this afternoon. Very, very unfortunate. And this year has seen a lot. This year has seen a lot for the people that we get around, for the people that we see, and for the people that we interact with. This year has really seen a lot. Let me tell you a bit about the early life of Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings. Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings, as I said, was born in the Central Region, Cape Coast, 1948, to J.O.T. Agyemang and his wife. She attended Ghana International School, and later she moved to Achimota School. Lots of us know her and her affiliation and association with the Achimota School, where she met her future husband at the time, Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings. That's at the time when she had moved to Motown, Achimota School. She went on to study art and textiles at the University of Science and Technology. We call it the KNUST. She was a student leader of her Hall of Residence, Africa Hall. So for all of you who have gone to the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, KNUST, and especially the women who have been in the Africa Hall, you've had the former First Lady being through the Africa Hall herself. In 1975, she earned an interior design diploma from the London College of Art. So she further pursued the education over the next couple of years, acquiring a diploma in advanced personnel management from Ghana's Management, Development and Productivity Institute. A lot of us know it as MDPI. This was in 1979, and a certificate in development from the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration. A lot of us also know it as GIMPA in 1991. She later went to Johns Hopkins and received a certificate for Fellows Program in Philanthropy and Non-Profit Organization. Let's see, as a First Lady, what she had been known for when she became the First Lady. So Agyemang-Rawlings, Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings, her husband affectionately called her Nana. For those of you who experienced His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings, even when he had ended his tenure as president, he had still been involved very much in the politics of the country. And so the NDC, even the NPP, all the political parties that are currently in existence and had been in existence, we can confidently say that most of these people or most of these political institutions have had some inspiration to draw from Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings and her husband, Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings. And of course, I'm sure political historians can actually attribute the current democracy that we are all enjoying here in the country as of today, especially in this Fourth Republic. We can attribute, if not entirely, a greater portion of it to this couple who had transitioned from the PNDC to the NDC and allowed elections to go on from 1992. That's where and how we have the 1992 Constitution, which came into effect and, of course, allowed governance. And then he had been president, and she also had been the first lady until 2000. The year 2000, when John Agyemang-Rawlings won the elections in December 6th, and on January 7th, 2001, John Agyemang-Rawlings took over the reins. I remember when I was young and I was watching TV, and His Excellency Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings and Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings, as we're seeing her now, in her beautiful kente, clad in kente at the time, was taking John Agyemang-Rawlings around. At the time, the castle, that was the seat of government. And it was a beautiful sight to behold. It acclaimed, or it won the country Ghana, the world acclaim of peace, the peaceful transition. That's what the first time we had a very peaceful transition of one democratic government, a political party, which has been elected democratically into governance, into another political party, which was also elected into governance, a handover, a very peaceful handover that we had seen happened in the year 2001. And it was done by His Excellency Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, ably supported by Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings. And we all enjoyed that and have been enjoying that. I think that became the pillar and the reference points for every political party who now wins power to stay on and give us a smooth transition when you lose. That happened in the year 2008 when the NPP had lost power. They had to, based on the smooth transition they had received from His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings and, of course, Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings, also hand over power to Professor J.E.A. Mills in the year 2009, the 7th of January, after the elections, December 6th. So in 2008, we had two elections. First was the general elections and the parliamentary elections, which happened on the 7th of December 2008. And then we had to go on a runoff. We remember the Tyne incident when all the stories around Tyne to be the decision maker of who had actually won the elections. But remember, at the time, the NDC already had the majority in parliament, so their campaign was excellent and was easy to garner the votes of the masses for the presidential candidate, who was Professor J.E.A. Mills at the time, and he was declared after the runoff on the 27th, I think 27th or 28th of December. He won the elections, and on the 7th of January, he took over the reins of power for the country. That again went on, and His Excellency, the President John Dramani Mahama, when we had the unfortunate demise of Professor J.E.A. Mills, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama took over for 3 months, and then we went into an election, he won, and then in 2016, there was another smooth transition to Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Currently, we have had one more smooth transition to His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama once again. And all of this, as we talk about, can be referenced to His Excellency the President Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings and the First Lady, as we see, Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings. I'm sure that our reporters would quickly be trooping into the house of the former First Lady. If we get there and we hear any news or we see anything, we are here. We'll be bringing you up to speed on that. The unfortunate news which has happened currently as we report to you is that the former First Lady, Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings, has passed on. And it's a very sad, a very, very sad situation that this is difficult, a very difficult moment. And it is not for her political party only. I'm sure the entire fraternity of the National Democratic Congress will be mourning. That of the New Patriotic Party will be mourning as well. Everybody, and she's a statesman. Apart from her political party, she's still a statesman. So she first came, her first term as First Lady had come after her husband served as military head of state briefly in 1979. And that's what I had spoken to you about. He returned to power in a military coup in 1981 and ruled until 1992. So we had gone into or through the PNDC period when he was elected now in 1992 as a civilian president. So take note, in 1992 as a civilian president. He served 2 terms of 4 years, leaving office in 2001. She has been the president of 31st December Women's Movement in 1982. I think let's get on the line. Let's get on the line. There are political historians that we can speak to. I'm told that I have on the line, or we are trying to get Dr. Asante Ochre, who is a political lecturer. We'll get him pretty shortly, and we'll speak to him what this means for the country. This year, and I'll ask Alaji. Alaji is in here. This year, we've lost very key people. Very, very key people. I'm very saddened by the people we've lost this year. One of the very people I respect so much, Dr. Manibuama, had gone. My own very good friend, Mutala Muhammad, my very, very, very good friend. Every time he sees me, Akwesi, now show. Akwesi, let's do this. Akwesi, every time, Akwesi, Mutala Muhammad. And very affable, very, tell you, your people, that's how Mutala Muhammad would always embrace you and react to you and get around you. Mutala is gone. We had notable men in the National Democratic Congress gone. Even this year, we've had members of parliament of the NPP. We can see the young lawyer who had just gotten into parliament also passed. And now, what we are seeing is Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings. Let me get on the line. Alaji, I'll come back to you pretty shortly. I can see the change in your demeanor. I can well see it. It's sad. It's just sad. Let me just get on the line. Dr. Jonathan Asante Ochre is on the line. Doc, thank you very much for joining me. Good afternoon to you. I am not taking this lightly. I don't know about you. Doc, can you hear me? Good afternoon to you. If you can, good afternoon to you. And I'm not sure you are taking this lightly, having followed the politics of the country, especially since 1992 when we had the beginning of the Fourth Republic, which has positioned our dear country as a politically stable country, maybe across the length and breadth of Africa. I'm not sure this is easy for you. Can you hear me, Doc? Hello, Doc, can you hear me?
But I'm very faint.
Hello, Doc. So whilst we try to get Doc, I was telling you a bit about former First Lady, Her Excellency, the former First Lady, Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings. Maybe I would come to the studio if I get Doc. Doc, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, so good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for making time for us at this impromptu call this afternoon. I am not taking this lightly. I don't know about you, Doc.
I can hardly hear you guys.
So we'll quickly rework the line and get back to you. I think that the line is not too good from where you are. So our technical team is on point. They are working it out, and they will get to you pretty shortly. But let me come back to the studio. I'm here with Alhaji, and Alhaji, you have been in the communication space. So obviously, lots of interactions with the former first couple.
I'm very close to Kimati. I've interviewed him several times, especially at the Bukum Boxing Arena. And she's like a grandmother to me. I don't call her my mother because politically, as you've given her background, the historical antecedent actually clearly indicates that she's one politician who has really helped our mothers, sisters, even the unborn girls to understand that they can also offer something to Mother Ghana. Being the first lady for 8 solid years, and then, when it comes to the military rule, she has also been there for years in total, almost about 21 years as the first lady of this country. I could see this is really a mother, an icon. She is more or less like an indelible, icon that everybody has discovered her as a role model. Even if you are a man, you see our former First Lady as a role model, and I'm really sad, and I'm happy you've seen that in my demeanor. My voice has changed, my facial outlook has changed because I admire her so much because she's done a lot for some of us.
So let me get back. I'll come back to you again, but let me get back to Doc on the line. Dr. Jonathan Oche is on the line. Doc, I don't know if you can hear me loud and clear now, Doc.
Well, I can hear you, but it's very faint and it's stuttering as well.
I'm going to project once more, but
if you've already asked
if you can hear me now.
About, what has happened and what I see or know about Nana Agyemang-Rawlings. Hello, Akwesi.
Yes, Doc. I think I can hear you loud and clear now. I'm saying that it's not a good moment for all of us. I don't know about you. I don't feel right. I'm saddened.
Well,
I don't know.
I think that this particular incident, has made me a bit sober this early afternoon. And I never thought that Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings, will kick the bucket in this manner or that early. What ought to be said about her is the fact that she was a trailblazer in women's emancipation and empowerment in this country. And I remember Beijing 92 or so, 92 or 95, where it all started. And I think that her role in the life of her late husband, is just remarkable. And you will have to appreciate the fact that when it comes to organization, she was probably next to no one. And if you really want to know how and why the late president, His Excellency Flight Lieutenant General Rawlings, won handsomely in the 1992 and the 1996 elections, a lot of that credit will have to be given to, the late Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings, because that was a time that she had, set up this first December Women's Movement, and that in itself created a lot of micro, jobs, and the Gari processing factory, setting up, 31st daycare centers, crutches here and there, as a way of creating an enabling environment, for our women's folk. And so she's also had her downsides. I think this is not the time. Of course, we all know what the NDP, became and so on and so forth. But what I respect about her is the fact that since the death of her husband, she never spoke a word in terms of partisan politics. And that for me is an honor that she gave her husband. And similarly, that must equally be extended to her. I think that when it comes to even FIDA and all other, women, civil society organizations and other things, she is the pioneer, or she was the pioneer. And it is just unfortunate that something of that sort will happen at this point in time. But life, they say, has a beginning and it has an end. And I think that, apart from the fact that she fell off in terms of a relation with the NDC and so on and so forth, that should be behind, the curtains. And the right thing ought to be done. And I think that when we talk of a woman supporting a husband to succeed, I think that she is par excellence.
I can see how sad this is also for you as well, Doc, and I can relate. With the things she's done in the Ghanaian political space, especially as you say, in the area of women empowerment and the growth of children and so on and so forth. But you make a very frantic point that in as much as she had parted ways with the NDC, she still respected them through.
I never heard a word of what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Bazi?
Doc, can you hear me?
A little.
Hello, Doc.
Yeah. Can you, what question did you ask?
So, yes, okay. I think I need to just project for you. If you can hear me, I think I am making the point from your submission that even though she had kind of parted ways, she respected the NDC, and so they should take up the responsibility of being with her in this hard moment, or being with her family.
It's just quite unfortunate that I can hardly hear a word. You said based upon my submission.
Yes.
Yes, I think, I don't know what you asked, but I'm just guessing, trying to guess.
Yes.
So, in actual fact, her downsides will be at a time that she wanted to succeed her own husband, especially when she tried to kick out Professor Mills. It didn't go down well for the NDC. She fell out, and so on and so forth. But when it comes to her achievement, I think that her achievement still lingers. And they are all written everywhere, because growing up in Takoradi, I know that there is still this 31st December Women's, what's it called, daycare center, somewhere at Groovy, behind Groovy, and it is still there and it's still running. So her relics still live on. That is how I see it. But I think that those women who have been championing women empowerment, women sustainability, women economic empowerment, women in education, girl-child education, and all these things that have come, its antecedent will have to be what the foundation that she laid and how she was able to support her husband to get to wherever he got to. And then still, all these things, in actual fact, when a husband was in power, there wasn't anything like women organizer in the NDC or women this. All of these things were taken over by the 31st December Women's Movement Organization. And that really, as I said earlier on, helped to champion a particular cause that helped the husband to get to wherever he got to. And I think nobody can take that thing away from her. I think today is a sad day. This particular year has been a very sad year because we seem to be losing legends and people of legendary character. And I think that this in itself will have to call on the nation the leaders of the nation, our Christian leaders, the bishops and other important personalities within the Islamic fraternity and so on and so forth, to be praying for this country, because it appears this particular year happens to be the year that things of that nature are likely to happen. And this may not be a fluke. Those who are into spiritualism or those who are prayerful, they can lead that to forestall things of that nature, from happening again. Thank you.
Okay, so let me say a big thank you to you. Dr. Jonathan Asante-Ochere is a political lecturer and an analyst. So he's been talking to us. But he makes one point, and I'm going to make this emphatic. For you, the prophets, this is in my own capacity. For you, the prophets, please, this is not a time to come and tell us you saw it. We will not take it. We will reply you. We will respond to you. We will not take it. For the prophets who will come back to tell us you saw it. As far as we are concerned, we have not seen your posts. We have not seen what you have said about this. And we have not seen any predictions yet. Unless maybe, because His Excellency the President has appointed Honorable Elvis Efree Ankra to be in charge of prophecies, unless maybe you have gone to tell Honorable Elvis Efree Ankra, and he comes out to confirm. We don't want to see tomorrow or tonight or any other day on air anybody coming out to tell us, I am the prophet, or I am the verified prophet of God because I saw it. Please, allow us to mourn. Allow us to mourn. This is a very sad moment, a very sad period, a sad time. We have seen Dr. Manibuama, we have seen my friend Mutala Mohammed, we have seen the young lawyer who passed on from Akwetia, we have seen a number of people. And we have seen prophecies about the elections coming up and so on and so forth. Please, like the doctor said, doctor mentioned that the woman has been very quiet, has been very organized, has been very calm, especially after her husband passed on. She's a stateswoman. She's 76 years old. Allow her to sleep in peace. And that's our wish and our call on you. All the prophets, please, if you speak, we'll answer you. And we'll call you out. If you speak, we will call you out. If you're a prophet and you come to tell us you saw it, if you saw it, you must have done something to prevent it. But once you couldn't, we are taking this as an act of nature and an act of God. We'll call you out. But it's sad. It's sad for those of us who had at least the minimum encounter with the former First Lady. It's sad. I'll come back to Alhaji. And Alhaji has been calm all of a sudden. Alhaji, this is sad.
I mean, I could say I'm happy with the statement you've made about the prophet and all that. But Doc Jonathan is my senior colleague as a lecturer, and he's one person I admire so much, and I like his submission. And the submission that is made about our mother being with the NDC, she is the wife of our founder, and I know that our leaders are listening. And then let me just also make a point that Doc made. When it comes to life and death, it's in the hands of God.
Exactly.
Regardless of your health condition, regardless of whatever that you do, I could see when your time is up, you go.
Your time is up.
She is 76 years of age. It's not easy, 76 years of age at this time. So I could see death is more or less like a clarion call. When I'm with somebody and the person passed away, God is ringing a bell in my ears to reorganize myself, prepare myself. My time will come. Yes. Murtala is my closest friend. We spoke a week before he passed away. Sad. So you see, the Muntala's death was more or less like a turning point in my life. So for me, I believe that those who have passed away, you've mentioned their names, I could see there is nothing we can do to forestall or stop their death. It's more or less like a clarion call. It's a message to you and I that we need to check what we are doing today. And when our time is up to leave this world, we'll live in peace, and then God will receive us in peace If that is what we would do, then our pastors, our imams would have to preach to us for us to do the right things at the right time with the right people. It is really a sad day, but I can tell you, a time is up. The husband left before her because the husband's time was up. Nobody can forestall, nobody can stop him from dying. Even doctors who always work on you and I, they'll do whatever they could. But when your time is due to die, there's nothing they could do. So I think that is a sad day. And as I said, she is more or less like a role model to all of us, not only our mothers and grandmothers. She's a wonderful mother, great woman, excellent communicator, a very effective politician. She knows how to groom people. She knows how to nurture people. When you go to Nima, 31st December Women Movement, Nima, Mamobi, and all the Muslim community, this is a woman who was able to re-energize our parents. There are times that when our parents don't send our girl child to school, this is a woman who came to brought about this nursery schools and all that, and then some of our sisters started going to school. Today, we have majority of our Muslim girls going to the law school. It is all under this woman. So for me, I think that she needs to be celebrated. Even though it's a sad day, but we see it is time for us to celebrate this woman, acknowledge her, so that we would have people that will come and inherit the legacy that she has left behind.
I remember in 2016, some people had billed her the Hillary Clinton of Africa.
Undoubtedly.
I remember.
Not even West Africa. It's Africa.
The Hillary Clinton.
Really. And I'm happy that her daughter is still alive in Parliament. So all that all of us can do is we just need to give her the support. Look at the son. Kimati is very close to me, but he's also a guy of few words. Sometimes when I'm interviewing him, he says, no. You see, so you realize that the father, in communication, I would describe the father as an aggressive communicator. The father, socially, politically, Agyemang-Rawlings is an aggressive communicator. But Timati is what? Is an assertive communicator. You see, but if you look at the mother, she has combined the two because politically she knows what to say and what not to say.
Yes.
So I could see today, in as much as we are sad today, I think that indirectly we should be able to embrace her legacy. Let's see how best we can reposition her legacy politically, socially, and even academically. Because when it comes to education, she has even helped to change the paradigm in our communities, especially the Zongo community and even the Northern region. So, I mean, it's really sad today, but what can we say?
One of my bosses or senior men says, Kwesi, why do you want to spoil my prophet's friend's business? Everybody they chop for in work inside. But it's sad, and it's sad that we have some people messing up times like this, and I get saddened by it. If you have a prayer, pray for the nation. If you have a prayer, pray for the leaders. If you have a prayer, we are always fighting over the GDP. We are fighting over the GNP, the gross national product. We are fighting over the MPC. We are fighting over inflation. We are fighting over fuel prices. We are fighting with Abosiu Kai over spare parts. We are fighting over economic growth. We are fighting, most importantly, the agenda for jobs, the creation of jobs for young people between the ages of 15, 35, 45, 50, the working class, for people to get jobs. When there are demonstrations, we say that unemployment is a threat to national security. The more unemployment rises, the more you have scrupulous or unscrupulous young people in the system who cause mayhem at any given opportunity. So when employment goes up, people are busy. They don't even have the time to mess up. These are the things we have been fighting for, that the government, His Excellency the President has told us 1 million jobs agenda. He has commissioned the communications minister to start the 1 million kudos agenda. He has spoken to Eric Ejay, the Agyemang-Rawlings program. He has spoken to Osman, the apprenticeship program. He's on their head to create jobs for young people. If you have a prayer, this is a prayer you should be saying for us as Ghanaians. If you have a prayer, you should be praying for us for self-sufficiency, not about people who have passed, not about people who have served their time very effectively, contributed to the growth of the country, contributed to the democracy we are all enjoying today, and then you will come back and tell us you are the best of prophets, you are the person with the best of sight, and so you are the one who you saw it like a video, like a picture, and you climbed the pillar of fire and the pillar of cloud, and you saw it and you tried to warn them. Please, we don't want that. We do not want that. But let me get back to the story. It's a very sad one, and I'm seeing people beginning to text me and so on and so forth. But I'll see if you continue to text. I'll see if I would read some. But if it's possible, we would put up the phone lines, not for you to call, but I mean for all the phone memories that we can have around the former First Lady. I mean, some of us really loved her for all the things that she stood for, and a little about her life. There is a memoir about the family, and in one of them, she had stated that, and I'm quoting her, "My desire is to see the emancipation of women at every level of development to enable them to contribute and benefit from the socio-economic and political progress of the country. Women's vital role of promoting peace in the family, the country, and the world at large must be acknowledged. And to this end, they must be empowered politically to equip them adequately to the challenges or for the challenges of critically identifying and assessing solutions for the betterment of society," unquote. This is a woman who dedicated her life, who stood for the empowerment of women and children, who stood for the affirmative action, who stood for having a lot more women involved in the politics of the country, involved in the economic management of the country, involved in the legislature, involved in the judiciary. This is what she stood for. And today, at the age of 76, we are saying to you in the breaking news that she's been called to glory by the Almighty. She's been called to glory today by the Almighty. This is a breaking news. We'll keep updating you from the house, from her residence, and we'll be telling you what the cause of her passing on exactly is, eventually. And I'm sure that by this time, Senator Agyemang-Rawlings and the family, Kimathi and the rest of the family.
Yasantua. Yasantua and Kimathi. And I could see, let me add to what you've just said about this so-called pastors or soothsayers. I could see, you see, one thing that they've tried to do before coming out with some of these prophecies is that they were able to study individuals. They are using psychology. So they know your SWOT. Your SWOT, they know your strength, they know your weaknesses, opportunity, and the threat. So they are basing what a prophecy based on our weaknesses and the threats. So I could see all the information they put out there is more or less like they know that I'm afraid of ABCD. Or my weaknesses is that when I heard a pastor says ABCD, I'll start shivering. It will send shivers down my spine. So if, as Ghanaians, if we develop this awareness, I don't think that they have the space to come out with some of these prophecies.
It's a very good consciousness that we need to create for us. In Kigali, in Rwanda, I mean, there are benchmarks for you to come out and prophesy. You need to go through.
Before you become a pastor, you must have a qualification.
Yes. So you cannot just come out and do anything. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad.
I've seen a pastor who cannot even read the Bible word for word. He wants to move into a local language. Even the local language, there are so many question marks on the local language. There is somebody who says that he's a man of God, that God always communicates with him. In which language?
Nice.
In which language?
Let me just give people a bit of a background as well. So I spoke to you, or I read to you about her drive for women empowerment, her drive for women inclusion, her drive for gender sensitivity by the leadership of the country. And so that was a goal of the movement she had formed. described as the 31st December Women's Movement, and she was the president. So she described the movement as a broad-based, development-oriented, non-governmental organization that aspires to achieve these objectives through the effective mobilization of women. So, as Alaji had said, and as Doc had said, she is the pioneer, she is the champion, she is the goalpost of women empowerment associations, women empowerment organizations, women empowerment formations here in the country. And that's just who she is. And she's been like that the whole of her life. In addition, her movement, 2 million strong, has set up more than 870 preschools in Ghana here alone. She's worked actively to stir up interest for the accomplishment of child development and family planning. And as Alaji was talking about, Ghana's former First Lady, Her Excellency Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings, as she was called, had said that she would continue to work in the women's movement even if her husband was no more. And of course, as her husband had passed on, she still continued her work, but quietly. She continued her work quietly. So a bit of a background again. Her husband had led a military coup that seized power in 1981. Although he was not established as the head of state until the following year, the country successfully, and this is where I am particular about, the country successfully reverted to civilian rule in 1992 and had free elections, calling the First Lady an instrumental part of the revolution in Ghana's economy. The Baltimore Afro-American reported that women were Ghana's largest labor force. Well, so these are snippets of some of the things that we are talking about, as you see on the screen. The Baltimore Afro-American reported that women were Ghana's largest labor force, and they wanted to be a central part of the country's redevelopment. Before December 31, 1981, they had no power to influence in law or politics, even the laws that pertain to them. It was a grassroots movement, the women selling their land, clothes, and jewelry to get money. She's also a champion of women's rights. So in the early 1980s, a few women approached her wanting to form a women's organization, but after a few meetings, little happened. She said that after asking the women what they wanted to do as an organization, quote, "It was clear that we had to start with things that would earn money to develop their communities in the social sector," unquote. So when the women had met her, and I'll repeat this, about the formation of organization and so on and so forth, look at the interest of this woman at the time. She says, it was clear that we had to start with things that would earn her money, or would earn money, not her, would earn money to develop the communities of these local women who had come to her to come together to form movements. So most of the women wanted things like water. The movement taught Ghanaian women how to generate income and save money for community projects. It encouraged them to become part of the decision-making process in their villages and explained policies of health and education. It offered an adult literacy program to teach them to read and write. The majority of women could not do either. 2 early marriages among female children were discouraged, and programs were offered on nutrition and immunization. This is the profile of the woman we are talking about. In 1991, through the efforts of Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings, Ghana became the very first nation to approve the United Nations Conventions on Human Rights, on Rights of the Child. In 1991, through the efforts of Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings, Ghana became the very first nation to approve United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. Via the movement, Mrs. Rawlings also played a crucial role in the adoption of an interstate succession law. And I'm sure all of you who are watching us this hour, if you have heard about it, if you're a lawyer and you know it, if you're a young person and you don't know what an interstate succession law is, maybe from today you may want to read it there. Maybe for a want of better words, because we are on TV, let me choose my words carefully. I was going to say the husbands who had cheated their wives out of their properties or overtaken their properties, and their families had overtaken the properties the couples had built together. This was the inception of a law that was going to protect partners who were couples and their children and even their extended family in an equitable share of the properties. And so it is saying here that via the movement, Mrs. Rawlings also played a crucial role in the adoption of an interstate succession law, which is applicable to the survivors of anyone dying without a will. Traditionally, Ghanaian women had little or no rights of inheritance upon the death of their husbands. The new law provided a standard of inheritance. Elijah, I think that maybe most people have underestimated the relevance of Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings in the political history of the country, at least for the Fourth Republic. Some of the things that she has done.
I don't believe that people underestimated it. No, it is, I really blame it on some of us, especially publishers, writers, and what have you. In other jurisdictions, I could see, we should have gotten individuals who are closer to her to suggest to her, by now, Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings, the late, should have gotten not less than 10 books. Yes, 10 books that should give us her relationship with the former President J.J. Rawlings, how it all started. They will move to when the husband became a democratic leader or maybe an autocratic leader for that period of time. She needs to have a book for that. She must also have a book that would demonstrate how 31st December women came into being. And then when she became the first lady under 8 years of her husband as a democratic ruler. And then even after the demise of her husband, at least we should have gotten a book that she will give us a narrative. Why would she become muted? Why is she not going to talk about politics again and what have you? Even people would even want to read about why she chickened out from the NDC. These are things that we should have gotten people to have written something of this nature so that the young up-and-coming will come and read. You see, so I go see, who do you blame here? It is not that people have underestimated her. For me, I think that one thing that for me, and I'm happy Doc also had wanted to veer into that, but he stopped. That I was not really happy when she formed her own party. No, she has gone beyond that limit. Those who were with her should have really informed her that, look, you've gone beyond forming your personal party because you are part and parcel of the founders of NDC. But that is gone. Let's forget about that. But I'm saying that people will never underestimate her if indeed we have verifiable document or books to read about her. People will read and understand who the woman is. Even it is now that she'll be celebrated more than when she's alive.
Because we bring in the issue of her departing from the NDC, let's get into the archives and see when in one of those occasions she was addressing the NDP, and of course members of the NDC were not happy, but let's see the video if producers have it. Let's see how and when she was addressing the NDP as the leader of the party.
Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings duly elected as the flag bearer of the NDP.
In 2012, I was talking about people over politics. And today, 2016, I will say it again, that I have never been want to do what is just popular over what is right. Because I am and will always be guided by a moral obligation to support the needs of the people over the interests of politics. Yes, people over politics. That is what our party stands for. The NDP, National Democratic Party, founded on the belief of placing people and the needs of the ordinary Ghanaian at the center of our nation's development. Placing people at the center of development means reclaiming the meaning of genuine citizens' democracy, where the best ideas are harnessed at the community level rather than the current top-down mode of governance that has deprived our communities of their freedom of self-actualization. It is our patriotic duty as citizens of Ghana not to make room for government complacency at all. And we should not make room for government incompetence. We should not. Indeed, the NDP is an all-inclusive party. I believe that the fabric of any strong nation is unity among its people. I also believe that the common good of Ghana outweighs any personal ethnic affiliations. It is not about ambition. Even though ambition is good, but personal ambition at the detriment of the country is bordering on criminality. We need to return Ghana to the principles upon which our independence was fought for. We need to return to the roadmap upon which we march towards development. We need to redesign the blueprint of our country. True transformation and true transformative change is the only progress that we are seeking in Ghana. Every sector is in a turmoil, and we have all become silent participants in this degradation. It is our responsibility to build a country that gives each individual an equal opportunity. We need equal opportunity. It is our responsibility to give power to leaders who have a vision and the common good of Ghana at heart. Before I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, in this election year, when the word peace is mentioned, certain truisms and facts which are undeniable must be adhered to. These are the foundations of peace, because peace is an action word. Let us join hands and lift our country, lift it so high up and boldly before everybody, so we can confront all the negativities facing our country today. NDP I was going to say something else. NDP, our Ghana, our rights. NDP, our nation, our future.
Bring you greetings from the executives and the members of the National Democratic Party. It is truly a pleasure to address you all today, many of whom I think I have interacted in the course of my developmental work. But today I do so in a very unique and historical capacity. Excuse me. As the first female presidential candidate ever to address the IEA, I want to say a big thank you for this opportunity to express my views here. Thank you. Originally, I was supposed to come and speak for 45 minutes, and it's been cut to 25 minutes. So I'm going to really just rush through, leave a lot of things, and maybe in the question and answer time, I'll be able to deal with them. The economic and social upheavals we are witnessing in some nations across the world must awaken that sense of urgency in all of us. We as Ghanaians cannot take our future for granted and assume that it shall be well, even as we live the reality of it is not well. You and I, all of us, are the stakeholders of Ghana, and therefore it is our sole responsibility to ensure that our nation has in place the most effective constitution that guides our leadership and the most effective policies and strategies that make us a prosperous nation. It is within our power as citizens of Ghana to ensure that Ghana is on a clear, visionary path. It is not enough to hope or pray that things will get better. It is not enough. Excuse me. Let me take that again. It is not enough to hope and pray that things will get better, when the stark reality indicates that our nation is on the wrong path. That is why I am running for president, to put Ghana on the right track again. I am the presidential candidate of the National Democratic Party, and we believe in laying the foundation of a prosperous future for Ghana, so that all Ghanaians can have the confidence in a country built on a system that rewards hard work and sacrifice. The NDP believes in creating a Ghana where mothers and fathers have the opportunity to invest in the future of their children, where Ghanaian genius is rewarded, and where meritocracy is paramount. We believe in a thriving economy that creates equal opportunity for every Ghanaian, regardless of ethnic group, regardless of financial group and status, regardless of gender and age. As a fellow citizen and a stakeholder in Ghana, as a wife, as a mother, and definitely as a voter, I refuse to sit back and say things will get better, particularly as we all can see things are not getting any better. In fact, things are getting worse for us as a nation. I will not sit back and do nothing while the gap between the rich and the poor grows wider. We are all witnesses to the deplorable growth of slums in Ghana. We all watch with frustration as societal indiscipline creeps into every facet of our lives. Although the government security budget has increased, we are witness to decreasing law and order, with a corresponding increase of arbitrariness and impunity. Our health system is really not a system because it is not working. There isn't a single family as in an extended family, there isn't a single family in our extended family system, regardless of financial status, that has not lost a family member to an illness or disease that could have been treated if timely. Sorry, thank you. If timely, sorry, I've lost my. If timely proper care had been administered, our healthcare professionals are frustrated due to their inability to help save their patients. As a result of ill-equipped hospitals and a bureaucracy that stifles their dedication. Ghana has a lot of competent people. We have a lot of competent professionals. In every sector, you will find them there. And these are all being excluded from contributing to effective nation building. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to create a system that supports and rewards our dedicated healthcare servicemen and women, while weeding out those who are guilty of medical malpractice. How can a nation that prides itself on peace and stability have its foundations shaken by outbreaks of cholera and typhoid, diseases easily avoidable if our health and sanitation systems worked effectively? Thank you. Diseases that have been eradicated from our country have resurfaced. Yellow fever, typhoid, yaws. A lot of the young people have never heard the name of yaws, because I was asking some people, they said, what is yaws? Scabies. I've asked some people about scabies, and I don't know about scabies. I said it's back in the country. All due to poor water and sanitation and incompetent governance. On our roads and highways around the country, we witness an uncountable loss of life because of sheer disregard for rules and regulations. Ghanaian businesses, including foreign ones, are shutting down and moving to neighboring African countries because of lack of power, excessive rent, high taxes, and sometimes a lack of the requisite skilled labor. We cannot continue like this anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, indeed, we cannot continue like this. We cannot lose life and property each year in floods, and each year hope things will get better when we are actually not taking any active steps to solve the problem. Freedom and justice must not become mere rhetoric, but a reality that must permeate every aspect of Ghanaian society. There's no freedom when you are denied the basic opportunities to create a future of prosperity for yourself and your children. Neither is it just for a government to take up 4 years of our time, of our lives, and reward us with economic mismanagement. It's unacceptable. Ladies and gentlemen, time is of essence. The National Democratic Party respects and understands the urgency in immediately implementing policies that will align the Ghanaian economy for sustainable growth so as to attract viable investment to Ghana, attract Ghanaian businesses back home, while creating the environment for new ones to flourish. Indeed, the NDP does not believe in paying lip service to decentralization. We want to empower Ghanaians at all levels. We intend to do this by allowing the local government system to work and work effectively. With the limited time allotted, I will focus briefly on some thematic areas. Indeed, originally I had 8 areas, or 10. That's the economy, energy, local government, trade and industry, education and the youth, women and children, health, agriculture, law and order. But due to the shortness of time, I'm going to pick maybe 4 out of the 9. So I'll deal with the economy. The NDP's road to recovery. Under the economy, we shall re-examine the restructure the financial services sector by drawing in all stakeholders in this sector. We will take a closer look at the cost of credit of commercial banks. Why is it profitably high, and what can be done in the short term and long term to bring this down? Our financial sector needs to be re-examined to allow local banks to be able to syndicate loans to support key sectors of the economy, as was done before. We also need to review the tax system. I'm picking, one or two of them. So we need to review the tax system. And I'll say again that there is too much taxation on Ghanaian businesses and citizens. No country has ever developed through overtaxation of the people or industry. It just doesn't happen. Too much taxation is counterproductive and stifles economic activity and growth. When taxes are overly high, production drops, businesses suffer, workers suffer, some are laid off, and there is no guarantee whatsoever that those who remain will still be there the following year. The government is telling us that only a few Ghanaians pay tax. The NDP wishes to differ on this matter, because everybody in Ghana pays tax. If it may be an indirect tax or a direct tax, but we all pay some tax. In fact, everybody pays taxes on NHIS, rural electrification, the GET fund, and many more, rural water. I could go on and on. These taxes are on everything that we buy. Even a newborn baby that we're going to put Pampers on, the Pampers have all these taxes on it. You buy bread, you see NHIS on it. So we pay the taxes, but we can call it indirect tax. But don't tell us we don't pay tax, because we do. Elementary economics, ladies and gentlemen, dictates that money must be in the hands of the consumer, not the government. In order for sustainable economic activity to be realized, our present economic strategy is simply borrow, tax, spend, and then again borrow, tax, spend. I think we can do better than that. And we in the NDP, we know we can do it. On the, I think I decided I'll pick about 4 so that we can then, I'll say a little bit about energy, because the energy crisis is grinding businesses to a halt, so it's important to talk about it. Some businesses have relocated to neighboring countries again because of energy. Energy is the lifeline of a country that wants to grow.
A woman who was passionate about the economy of the country, passionate about the development of young people, passionate about the empowerment of women, passionate about societal cleanliness and everything else that you can think about. The growth of our dear mother, Ghana, Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings, of blessed memory, who was passed on at the age of 76 years. News coming in just this afternoon. Alaji, we are still here. I'm getting a political historian on the line, and we'll be speaking to him. But, I mean, seeing and watching her talk about all the things she's talking about, and, I mean, I'm just saddened. The defection from the NDC. How are you feeling?
No, she's conversant with the terrain. Because when the husband was in the saddle as the head of state, and then before he became democratically elected president of the nation, she is closer to him. And all the form guide, all the things that the husband did, she's conversant with it. So that is why you realize that she's very eloquent in talking about the economy, in talking about the things that need to be done and what have you. And then she raised a very critical area in her delivery that we live in a nation where we believe in borrowing, taxes, and spending. Then we'll go back again, borrow, bring in taxes, and spend. So these are some of the things that she has identified. But to all intents and purposes, she has played her role, and then some of the things that she did to this country have now become a huge legacy, and nobody can erase those legacy. The most important thing is that she needs to be celebrated.
Yes, she needs
to be celebrated.
Important one. But let's go to a political historian. I mean, I like the point you come from that she needs to be celebrated. And or as a statesperson, Yao Anoche Frimpong is a political historian. He will understand better than what some of us have been talking about and what I've actually been reading. Yao, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for joining me. Not what you make of it. Obviously, it's important for the country. But as a historian, how has this hit you? Hello, Yao. So what we are trying to do is that we want to speak to Yao Anoche Frimpong, who is a lawyer and also a political historian. So beyond the 1992, the beginning of the Fourth Republic, what is there to see? What is there to talk about? What is there to know about our very first lady that we are eulogizing today? Alaji says that she has to be celebrated. All of us agree that she has to be celebrated. Celebrated in a very special way. Celebrated in unity. All political parties need to come together and celebrate this great woman of our dear nation, Ghana. And so we want to pick the views of Yao Frimpong Anoche, the political historian and a lawyer. And I think my technicians are doing well if we can hear him now. Lawyer, good afternoon to you. And I have been hit by the news. Alaji has been hit. I'm sure you've been hit by it as well.
Hello?
Can you hear me, Yao?
The line is badly breaking.
So this is what I did earlier on. I am going to project. I'm going to virtually shout. If you can hear me, Yao.
No, I can't get you at all.
You can hear me still, but...
So, yes, if you can call on the other one, the Vodafone, 050.
Okay, so the producers will take that number now so we can work with that. 050 number. This one, please, Sandra, please get together and let's get to Yao Frimpong on that line. We need to take a listen to him. Bright, please, all of you get together. Let's get Yao Frimpong back on the line and see. So, Alaji, you on the point. Let me come back to you.
You see, historically, what we can learn from our late mother are numerous, because we can look at her contribution to Ghana socially, politically, and even economically. And then we can veer into our mothers, how she was able to propel them, infuse some sense of agency and accuracy in them.
Yes. And
then we can all come down to the point that today we have the first female vice president of the Republic. We have a lot of Ghanaian women who are now at the forefront politically. When it comes to parental care, our mothers have not taken the lead. All these things could be traced by what she has done for this country, especially with the first women movement. Because I knew her. I was closer to the scene.
You were closer.
Especially Nima and all the Zongo communities, her contribution, the husband contribution, all the holidays that Muslims enjoy under her husband, she really played some role. So for me, I think that we need to make sure that if individuals who are interested in writing about her, I could see this is the time.
We should allow people
to write about her. Because our young students coming up, they must read about this woman. They must read about this woman to be able to absorb certain things about her. Probably some of them may even see her as their unique role model, because she has become like a mirror. Yeah, she has become like a mirror. You may like her or dislike her, but she has become more or less like a national mirror that all of us look into her mirror and see her in the mirror and probably predict that we want to be like her. So I think that is important that we must write something about her.
This is how the Africa Report captures her, and about the movement. It says, Mrs. Rawlings' movement has also taught village women to become involved in the electoral process of the country. And you see, it was about the social development of people, social development of women, social development of young people. And it quotes her, and I'll quote, "We literally just pounded it into them until they realized, hey, we don't want any of these people who are living outside our areas to come and stand in our areas to be elected." So for people who would live outside, for example, where I come from, Fadi, Mamponting, in the Kwabre East constituency, we will not allow the women there should get involved in the local electoral process.
Look at what you've read. Where from this information? It's not
exactly the point.
So this information is not been written by Ghanaian. So we must tell our own story. And that is what I'm saying. And
this is coming from Africa Report.
Exactly. In as much as all of us are elogizing her, we are in pain. We must also think about trying to make sure that we re-echo what she did. She's no more with us. Let's try to re-echo what she did in writing. Let's get the books, get the children to read, not only the girl child. Every single individual as a Ghanaian should read. Even those outside Ghana should read about her. When that is done, then we're going to celebrate her, not only today, forever.
Yeah.
That is the way I see it. So, she's a great woman.
A very, very great woman. The report goes on to say that a lot of, and this is also a quote from her, a lot of women are now in committees in their villages and districts. Some are chairing the committees. I can only say we've made a lot of impact, and I can say, or I can see from the self-esteem and near arrogance of the women that now we've actually been able to break through this thick wall. In 1992, 19 women were elected in parliamentary elections. So through the engineering, through the women empowerment programs, through the education of local women in the local communities, the assemblies, the district assemblies, the areas, they have been able to empower women to get involved in politics. Such that today everybody is championing the affirmative action. We need a lot of women in parliament, and 19 in 1992 elections. So in the area of finance, one of their, pointing to the area of finance as one of their problems, that's for the women. Well, so we are showing you or giving you shots of the entrance of her current residence as cars are trooping in there. I'm sure these are dignitaries from high places, including government, including the NDC party, including her own NDP party, including even the New Patriotic Party. Everybody or dignitaries who are going in, and probably lots of family members as well, coming in to get together and begin to think of how they will officially put this out, and I mean further arrangements, obituary arrangements, and so on and so forth. Let people know what exactly will be happening between now until burial and final funeral rites are prepared. So that's currently the rich residence of the Rawlingses. That's the entrance with the security army personnel there. Making sure security is tight there. And we'll keep bringing you up to speed with information, with videos, with data from the locations which matter and what exactly we are supposed to present to you, the viewer. So don't go away, just stay with us on Metro TV. We are keeping you in on every little detail around the passing on of the very first lady of the Fourth Republic of Ghana, which started in the year 1992 when we began, or we got our current working constitution. And so when we got the very first civilian president in the Fourth Republic, His Excellency Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, and he passed on during the COVID period. It was a big blow to the entire country. The woman has stayed still and faithful and truthful through till this period, or through till today. 76 years of age, we would say she has been blessed. It's a blessing to live to 76 years old. It's a great, great, great blessing. And even though it's an eventful occasion for her to pass on, and it's a sad occasion for her to pass on, I'm sure that it will be also an opportunity to be thanking God for the number of years that she's being blessed with by the Almighty God. And as we continue to eulogize her, the report said, pointing to the area of finance as one of their problems, Mrs. Rawlings had told the Africa Report that most of the Western embassies said we were just a political group and they didn't take time to listen. It took a lot of time just getting people to understand. That's a pursuit for women empowerment and growth. The more women who enter politics, the better the world would be. And because we don't think of wars, who is going to manufacture arms and who is going to kill the next person, we want to form linkages, network, and make the world a better place to live in. That was Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings. I think that we have Yao on the line again. If I can get the confirmation that Yao is on the line, even better for us on Zoom. If I can confirm that, I'll pick him right away. So Yao Frimpong is a lawyer and a political historian. And I think, like I said, better for us, we may have him on Zoom. Yao, if you can see me, if you can hear me, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Good afternoon to you. The entire crew here, including our guest this afternoon, has been hit by this news. I'm sure you being a historian, you knowing what has transpired pre-92 and post-92, you must be hit as well.
Sure, certainly.
Mm-hmm. And how are you taking it?
Oh, it's very unfortunate. It's the life of, or I would say it was the life of a very illustrious woman. And I feel so sad because you mentioned history. This was a woman who could be praised as one having the longest service as First Lady of Ghana, about 19 years. And then we don't have to forget that for her, she served one chunk as a military leader's wife, a military dictator's wife, and then the other side of the coin being a civilian president's wife. The sad aspect, and why I'm so worried, is the fact that with all this experience, our mother Konadu Agyemang should have written about 3 or 4 books, so that today we would have the opportunity of going through. Unfortunately, she didn't do that, and that is why I believe she was indebted. She will forever be indebted to us. That aside, I believe that it's a very unfortunate thing to happen to any human being.
Okay, so yeah, let me ask you this. I maybe a bit sensitive, but let me ask you. There are the school of thought that the wives of presidents we've had in the country are only for the aesthetics or for the formation of non-governmental organizations, and you would never see or hear anything of them until they come into power, and then you see these organizations coming up. For you and for her, who had been under the military ruling and had also been within the civilian, how relevant is Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings to the Ghanaian politics?
Konadu Agyemang will forever remain relevant because let's start from Madam Fathia, Kwame Nkrumah's wife, up to which one? Dr. Hilla Liman's wife, Fulera. You will see that they were just nominal politicians or nominal first ladies. All of them. They were nominal first ladies. It was Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings who founded the 31st December Women's Movement as more or less playing the role of a shadow prime minister during the period when her husband ruled the country. And the woman was extremely active everywhere. There was a time she even led the whole country to the Beijing conference. You know, it was a conference for all women in the world. And the woman led the Ghana delegation. And I'm saying that it was after Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings had laid the foundation, had, as the accounts we say, you know, after she haven't cleared the path, then others like Mrs. Kofour also came to walk in. What did she do? She founded the Mother and Child Foundation. Then Lodina Foundation.
Yes.
You know, they came, yes, everybody comes with a certain NGO of some sort, all because they were copying Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings. So she was a pioneer, true first lady of Ghana. Nobody can take that from her. Nobody can take that from her. She was more active than every one of them. And those who came founding NGOs were copying her, because before her were people like Fatia, and then what's the Afri first wife, this one, all of them, name them, Liman's wife, General Champon's wife. Nobody founded an NGO, and so they merely played roles like kitchen women, if I should put it that way.
Yes.
And then Konadu Agyemang came to the scene and decided to make herself extremely active, to the extent that even after her husband had left the presidency because his term of office was over, the woman felt that she could also be a president of Ghana and contested the NDC primaries. So nobody can write her off in the history of this country. Let me say that she even founded a political party, which is still a registered political party in Ghana, the National Democratic Party. So nobody can write her off as far as the history of Ghana is concerned.
How will you describe her influence also in the governance of the politics of the country, especially during the reign of her husband, when the husband was, at least within the period of her husband being the civilian president, 1992 to 2000, some people had felt, and you mentioned kitchen cabinet, that she was in charge.
That period, believe that, yeah,
can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, if you can hear me, I'm asking you about whether
I can hear you now.
Some people have speculated 1992 to 2000.
Yeah, if it was from 92 to 2000, she was a first lady, but that was the time she should have been more active with the 31st December Women's Movement, because that was a civilian era. Unfortunately, during that period, our mother Konadu Agyemang started becoming dormant. Rather, it was the military era from 31st December 1981 up to 1992, which was a dictatorial period, a very bad period, where she had, I would say, if you are giving Rawlings a bad name, she would also have 50% of it. That was rather the time that she really shone and glowed as a first lady, because there's a saying that behind every successful man is a woman. If her husband very successfully ran the country from that rough era in the history of Ghana, 31st December 1981 up to 1992, this was the power behind him, then nobody can give her a discredit. She was okay. Yes. But as you have rightly said, it is very difficult to credit her as an acceptable great woman. It's very difficult because Ghanaians know, and it was in the Special Investigations Board report. It also appeared in the National Reconciliation Commission settings that the very key that was taken to be used to drive the car, to start the car that eventually led the 3 judges and the army officers to their last journey was collected from her. And a person who knows history such as I am can never praise Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings without bringing in that story. That will make me a very biased person. Because if we are going to execute people, to kill people, to murder innocent blood, to shed innocent blood, let me put it that way, and then the vehicle that would drive them to the grounds where they were shot, we had the ignition key from you, then you can never tell anybody in this world that you are 100% innocent. But be that as it may, nobody asks her questions on those allegations, so she dies with that.
Okay, so yeah, beyond that, beyond 2000, we come to 2016 when she had formed her own political party. Was that a good action, politically wise action? I mean, this question has been
no, it wasn't a bad action.
People, but please go ahead.
Forming a political party, it was never a bad action. I think it was a very good thing she did. Well, she wanted to become a presidential candidate. They didn't give her the chance. And she felt that she could lead her country. She could serve the country. And the only way you could do that was not to stage a coup or to pick a gun or machete. It was to form a political party. Because
yeah, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, yeah, I think you are back online. Okay, so let's see. Whilst we try to connect with Yao, I have my colleague Eko, who is right in front of the residence of Her Excellency Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings. Let's speak him briefly before we round up. But whilst we get to see him, the presidency has also issued a statement. Currently, let me see if I can read that briefly before we get to Yao. This is coming in from the presidency communications. It says, Thursday, October 23, 2025, passing of Mrs. Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings. Government announces, we'll try and put the statement on. Okay, it is on. Announces with deep regret and profound sorrow the ultimately passing of former First Lady and founder of the 31st December Women's Movement, Her Excellency Mrs. Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings. Mrs. Rawlings passed this morning after a short illness. Government extends its deepest condolences to her immediate family. Signed, Felix Kwachi Ofusu MP, spokesperson to the President Minister, Government Communications. That's coming from the Presidency Communications. If we have a call is right in the front of the residence of Her Excellency. Eko, can you hear me? Good afternoon to you. What's happening at the residence?
Yeah, good afternoon, Kwesi. I'm currently standing adjacent the residence of the late former president, Jerry John Rawlings, and also Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings, who is now late. The street is relatively calm. This place is relatively calm. Commuters who are plying the street right in front of the residence of the former president or the late former president They are moving smoothly. And when you are coming from the Dankwa interchange right to the ridge roundabout, commuters are moving freely. When we got here an hour ago, we met one gentleman who was entering the residence. He stood there. His engagement with the military officers who are manning the entrance of the place. He claimed he is the family doctor of the family, and he's coming to announce the unfortunate tragic demise of Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings. That was what we were able to pick. But aside that, we've seen quite a number of rank and file of some huge personalities. We are unable to disclose them, but they are in convoy moving, trooping into the residence of the former late president. I'm sure perhaps they are close associates and also some government officials. I can tell you that Honorable Senator Agyemang-Rawlings, we saw a convoy which looks exactly like his. As you can see in the shot right now, there are some cars moving into the residence. In fact, security here is tight, although there's no blockade here at the moment. Media personnel are being restricted from taking videos of the place, and we are being asked not to get closer to the entrance. So that is the reason why I'm standing a little bit far away from the main entrance of the residence of the former late president. But I can report that Senator Agyemang-Rawlings is in the house. We were here when his convoy entered into the building. We've seen quite a number of vehicles enter into the residence of the late former president and also late former first lady. And it's obvious. We are still here. We are keeping tabs as and when there is a development. We are trying very hard to speak to.
So just gone by is Eko Sechisaki from the residence of the late former First Lady, Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings. We see in the shot now Kimathi, and I've seen Zaneto Rawlings as well. These are shots coming from the presidency, Jubilee House. I think I can see Jubilee House. It's a close shot anyway, but I can see Jubilee House. Zaneto is clad in black. Kimathi is clad in black. Zaneto is being held. It must be a very difficult, it is, not that it must. It is a very difficult moment this period, I'm sure. So Kimathi is actually in a white shirt and a black jacket, and Zaneto is there. She is a very strong woman, and it's easy to say that she will be able to hold up, looking at her track record of resilience as a politician for where we are, Metro TV. We are in her constituency, Klote-Koli constituency. So Zaneto is a member of parliament. And yes, so what it is that we are seeing Jubilee House currently. So they were actually coming out of the Jubilee House. They are currently at the entrance of Jubilee. And in the shot, the two children of the former president, Jerry John Rawlings, and of course, his wife, who has just passed on, Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings. The breaking news is that Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings, former First Lady of the Fourth Republic of Ghana, has passed on this morning after a very short illness. And the family is currently at the Jubilee House. I'm sure it was to inform His Excellency, the President, and the Vice President, the Chief of Staff, all the presidential staffers about the passing on of the First Lady, former First Lady, Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings. So in your shot is the family of the former First Lady and the former President. They are being held away, walking off the frontage of the Jubilee House. I'm sure they will be entering their cars now and probably head back to the residence. And so we have been speaking to Yao Anoche Frimpong, who is a political historian, and he has been talking to us about the relevance of Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings in the political history of the country. We have also had the Director of Communications, Alhaji Amin Lamte, my very own boss. He was actually here to have a discussion on this year's program, and I had expressed my excitement, my happiness about the fact that he's come back to the Pilgrims Board, not as a deputy head of communications or director of communications anymore, but as a director himself. The access he gives us, the attacks we attack him, the troubles we give him, and his patience to answer every question, even when there are crises, his ability to do crisis management, crisis in communications, and how he's able to hold down everybody to good communication reports. And we're discussing how they intend to change the phase of the Hajj, especially the next Hajj, which is coming up next year, 2026. And remember that it's very close, even though it looks a bit far off, because we are in October. We have only 2 months to the end of the year. So it would look to you as if it's far away. Those of you who have intent and want to prepare for the next Hajj. So he was admonishing all of us and everybody that some people have started paying. You need to start paying or start making preparations so that they, the board, will not be overwhelmed towards the taking off and the setting of flights for everybody, but they can have enough space and a conducive environment to plan. This was what he was talking about when we were hit hardly with the news of the passing on of the former First Lady Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings, the champion of women empowerment, the champion of women involvement, the champion of women getting into the political space of the country. And we have been bringing you up to speed sights and scenes and shots of what's been happening so far. And it's sad, it's sad, it's sad, it's sad. It's a sad situation this morning. So, yes, Yao is still on Zoom. Yeah, I think I can see you. You were on a point, and I had to cut you in. Let me bring you back to complete before I close this session. Hello, Yao. Yao, can you hear me? Well, so whilst we try to get here, let me come back to Alhaji. And Alhaji, before I let you go, maybe your final words.
Also express my condolences to the Rawlings family. And I really, I
can go back to the beginning.
Yeah,
we can go back to the beginning.
What I was saying is that there is nothing more to say than to thank your production team and yourself for having me today. We were able to delve a bit into why I'm here. Fortunately, unfortunately, with this sad news, we have to cross carpet to another area that is more important. And I'm happy that all the resource persons that you spoke to, especially my very good uncle who's an historian, he also spoke about the book that I raised. It's very important. But it's not over yet. It's not too late. Those who think that they can, get themselves organized, get 1 or 2 sponsors, let's see how best we can develop something, put them in writing for us to remember our mother, not only today, even for the unborn generation that will come and read about her. So, Akwesi, I want to thank you very much for having me. When it comes to the Pilgrim Affairs Office of Ghana, under the leadership of Alhaji Ibrahim Tonko, we know we are ready to work. You have to go and pay on time. And then we've given the list of 42 accredited agents. We've done that. Everybody's aware of that. Don't go and give money to anyone. You have to confirm before giving out money. When that is done, all of us will be on the same page. Come Hajj 2026. Akwesi.
What we have to be doing with you is to gradually or intermittently, maybe after every month, we can get together for updates on what's happening, how the preparation is ongoing, so that we can all join in supporting to have a very successful.
I'll be very
happy. I see the passion, I see the enthusiasm to make sure that this year's Hajj, this coming Hajj, will be a very excellent.
Very excellent.
I mean, Metro TV, we have always been there for you.
Thank you so much.
We want to be there for you this time.
I'm grateful. God bless you for having me, and I appreciate it.
But just before we go, I think I have Yao again on the line. Let me give Yao the final words. And we're all of us from Metro TV here, from Vaughn Bakustin, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Ignite Media Group, from the HR, from the news team, from everybody. We are expressing our heartfelt condolences to the former first family of the Fourth Republic, from the entire Metro team. It's a sad moment, sad period. I remember how close Metro TV has been to this former first couple, or former first lady, and when the husband was there, I remember clearly that he would not travel back to the Volta region without reaching out to Metro TV whenever he had any news item, anything he wanted to talk about, anything he wanted to speak on. His first port of call was Metro TV, and I remember Frank Nyonato as well. Frank would be with him all the time, and we'll get the first of bites from the Rawlingses all the time. It is always Metro TV. So this is a time that we also take very importantly, very seriously. But let me come to you. Yeah, I'm rounding up for now, but I mean, rounding up doesn't mean we are closing. We are still here, and we'll be bringing you up to speed every single detail of activities that will unfold from here. But yeah, you're on. Let me give you your final words, and you were on the point of the relevance, and then we can close.
Yes, Ghana will remember her as the longest serving first lady. And most importantly, the fact that
okay, so I think that we are still having a bit of a difficulty with Yao. Yao Anoche Frimpong is a counsel, a lawyer, and a political historian. Now, what are these? So sites, and well, we had been showing you sites from the Jubilee House as Agyemang-Rawlings and Kimathi Rawlings had visited the Jubilee House. Well, I'm sure we'll get the details of that in the day, towards the evening. But it's been quite a moment for us, or a period for us here at Metro TV, bringing or carrying the news to you. It's been quite a period for us, and this is a morning period for the entire country. But thank you very much for staying with us. Don't go away. It is Metro TV. We keep you up to speed with everything, and we'll get all the details here. Alaji, thank you also very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
And even staying through. I mean, you had other engagements, but
I
when
have
this
to.
news broke out, you have stayed.
I have no option than to stay because she's my mother, and I have been touched with this sad news. But as I said, we see what we can do.
And then, Yao, if you can hear me, forgive us for how the line has disappointed us. It's technology. Sometimes that is how it is. But we appreciate your time very much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for staying with us from wherever you are. The breaking news is that Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings, former First Lady, has passed on at the age of 76. My name is Kwesi Afie. Keep watching Metro TV.
Greetings from the executives and the members of the National Democratic Party. It is truly a pleasure to address you all today, many of whom I think I have interacted in the course of my developmental work. But today I do so in a very unique and historical capacity. Excuse me. As the first female presidential candidate ever to address the IEA, I want to say a big thank you for this opportunity to express my views here. Thank you. Originally, I was supposed to come and speak for 45 minutes, and it's been cut to 25 minutes. So I'm going to really just rush through, leave a lot of things, and maybe in the question and answer time, I'll be able to deal with them. The economic and social upheavals we are witnessing in some nations across the world must awaken that sense of urgency in all of us. We as Ghanaians cannot take our future for granted and assume that it shall be well, even as we live the reality of it is not well. You and I, all of us, are the stakeholders of Ghana, and therefore it is our sole responsibility to ensure that our nation has in place the most effective constitution that guides our leadership and the most effective policies and strategies that make us a prosperous nation. It is within our power as citizens of Ghana to ensure that Ghana is on a clear, visionary path. It is not enough to hope or pray that things will get better. It is not enough. Excuse me. Let me take that again. It is not enough to hope and pray that things will get better, when the stark reality indicates that our nation is on the wrong path. That is why I am running for president, to put Ghana on the right track again. I am the presidential candidate of the National Democratic Party, and we believe in laying the foundation of a prosperous future for Ghana so that all Ghanaians can have the confidence in a country built on a system that rewards hard work and sacrifice. The NDP believes in creating a Ghana where mothers and fathers have the opportunity to invest in the future of their children, where Ghanaian genius is rewarded and where meritocracy is paramount. We believe in a thriving economy that creates equal opportunity for every Ghanaian, regardless of ethnic group, regardless of financial group and status, regardless of gender and age. As a fellow citizen and a stakeholder in Ghana, as a wife, as a mother, and definitely as a voter, I refuse to sit back and say things will get better, particularly as we all can see things are not getting any better. In fact, things are getting worse for us as a nation. I will not sit back and do nothing while the gap between the rich and the poor grows wider. We are all witnesses to the deplorable growth of slums in Ghana. We all watch with frustration as societal indiscipline creeps into every facet of our lives. Although the government security budget has increased, we are witness to decreasing law and order with a corresponding increase of arbitrariness and impunity. Our health system is really not a system because it is not working. There isn't a single family as in an extended family, there isn't a single family in our extended family system, regardless of financial status, that has not lost a family member to an illness or disease that could have been treated if timely. Sorry, thank you. If timely, sorry, I've lost my. If timely proper care had been administered, our healthcare professionals are frustrated due to their inability to help save their patients. As a result of ill-equipped hospitals and a bureaucracy that stifles their dedication. Ghana has a lot of competent people. We have a lot of competent professionals. In every sector, you will find them there. And these are all being excluded from contributing to effective nation building. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to create a system that supports and rewards our dedicated healthcare servicemen and women, while weeding out those who are guilty of medical malpractice. How can a nation that prides itself on peace and stability have its foundations shaken by outbreaks of cholera and typhoid, diseases easily avoidable if our health and sanitation systems worked effectively? Thank you. Diseases that have been eradicated from our country have resurfaced. Yellow fever, typhoid, yaws. A lot of the young people have never heard the name of yaws, because I was asking some people, they said, what is yaws? Scabies. I've asked some people about scabies. I don't know about scabies. I said it's back in the country. All due to poor water and sanitation and incompetent governance. On our roads and highways around the country, we witness an uncountable loss of life because of sheer disregard for rules and regulations. Ghanaian businesses, including foreign ones, are shutting down and moving to neighboring African countries because of lack of power, excessive rent, high taxes, and sometimes a lack of the requisite skilled labor. We cannot continue like this anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, indeed, we cannot continue like this. We cannot lose life and property each year in floods, and each year hope things will get better when we are actually not taking any active steps to solve the problem. Freedom and justice must not become mere rhetoric, but a reality that must permeate every aspect of Ghanaian society. There's no freedom when you are denied the basic opportunities to create a future of prosperity for yourself and your children. Neither is it just for a government to take up 4 years of our time, of our lives, and reward us with economic mismanagement. It's unacceptable. Ladies and gentlemen, time is of essence. The National Democratic Party respects and understands the urgency in immediately implementing policies that will align the Ghanaian economy for sustainable growth so as to attract viable investment to Ghana, attract Ghanaian businesses back home, while creating the environment for new ones to flourish. Indeed, the NDP does not believe in paying lip service to decentralization. We want to empower Ghanaians at all levels. We intend to do this by allowing the local government system to work and work effectively. With the limited time allotted, I will focus briefly on some thematic areas. Indeed, originally I had 8 areas, or 10. That's the economy, energy, local government, trade and industry, education and the youth, women and children, health, agriculture, law and order. But due to the shortness of time, I'm going to pick maybe 4 out of the 9. So I'll deal with the economy. The NDP's road to recovery. Under the economy, we shall re-examine the restructure the financial services sector by drawing in all stakeholders in this sector. We will take a closer look at the cost of credit of commercial banks. Why is it profitably high, and what can be done in the short term and long term to bring this down? Our financial sector needs to be re-examined to allow local banks to be able to syndicate loans to support key sectors of the economy, as was done before. We also need to review the tax system. I'm picking, 1 or 2 of them. So we need to review the tax system. And I'll say again that there is too much taxation on Ghanaian businesses and citizens. No country has ever developed through overtaxation of the people or industry. It just doesn't happen. Too much taxation is counterproductive and stifles economic activity and growth. When taxes are overly high, production drops, businesses suffer, workers suffer, some are laid off, and there is no guarantee whatsoever that those who remain will still be there the following year. The government is telling us that only a few Ghanaians pay tax. The NDP wishes to differ on this matter, because everybody in Ghana pays tax. It may be an indirect tax or a direct tax, but we all pay some tax. In fact, everybody pays taxes on NHIS, rural electrification, the GET fund, and many more, rural water. I could go on and on. These taxes are on everything that we buy. Even a newborn baby that we're going to put Pampers on, the Pampers have all these taxes on it. You buy bread, you see NHIS on it. So we pay the taxes, but we can call it indirect tax. But don't tell us we don't pay tax, because we do. Elementary economics, ladies and gentlemen, dictates that money must be in the hands of the consumer, not the government. In order for sustainable economic activity to be realized, our present economic strategy is simply borrow, tax, spend, and then again borrow, tax, spend. I think we can do better than that. And we in the NDP, we know we can do it. I think I decided I'll pick about 4 so that we can then, I'll say a little bit about energy. because the energy crisis is grinding businesses to a halt, so it's important to talk about it. Some businesses have relocated to neighboring countries again because of energy. Energy is the lifeline of a country that wants to grow. Whether it's in industry, in education, in medicals, you need to have the energy. Ghana needs to look into developing a sustainable energy policy. For example, we can ensure or maybe create a law through Parliament that makes property developers and builders incorporate as a matter of law solar into their construction, so that it will be like traveling to Spain or some of the South American countries. Every house has solar on top of it. In some American countries as well, North American, the southern part. Arizona, you don't see anybody without solar. If they can do it, I think we can do it too. Maybe if we make it into law, this will then help us to address this aspect of our personal lighting systems within our homes, while thinking of the bigger picture. So the energy question that has been debated over and over again and occupied national discourse up to date and seems to have no end can be solved if we put our minds to it. Solution of the energy crisis, I think, lies also in funding several options that are available globally by numerous local and foreign expertise. And it is possible for us to be able to look for prospective investors to come and assess the situation and make sure that they are not driven away by rent-seeking behavior of officialdom. I think most people understand this. I think I'll leave the rest for our manifesto. In the manifesto. In the district assembly, the centralized system is not being allowed to work. And if you look at articles 240 up to 254 of the 1992 Constitution, you will see clearly what the assemblies were created, why they were created, and what they were created for. And if we would stick strictly to the work that the assemblies are supposed to do, and not have government usurping the powers of the assembly in areas of development, in areas of construction, even the sewing of school uniforms and carpentry work and stuff like chairs and tables being made in Accra and sent to the districts, I think that we could make the district assemblies work. It would work much better, but I think I'll leave it there, and then when there are questions, we'll deal with the substantive issues that come up. I'd just like to add, though, that decentralization for the NDP is directly linked, we know, is directly linked to empowerment of the communities, politically and socio-economically. That is why we are introducing what we call the COBNOB, the Community Organizational Bureau Network of Ghana. An effective and functioning decentralized system is a positive indication of the socioeconomic direction of governance. A centralized system of governance that works signals a government's commitment to a prosperous people at all levels. And we know that if we allow the district assemblies to work, and we in the NDP, we want to use the COBNOB, that the Community Organizational Bureaus, to actually champion the community initiatives. We will have an empowered people in Ghana, and when the people are empowered, no government can take them for granted or for a ride. So we need to have people empowered from the community levels right up to the top. Sorry, but I'm having to... Now, let me deal a little bit on, with trade and industry. One major subject in trade and industry that I'd like to touch on is a major product that can give Ghana enormous wealth in revenue, and that is salt production. Salt production is a major active ingredient for the oil sector. Ghana's experience in salt production on a large scale can earn millions of dollars, which into our country. And in addition, when we create the salt production, we can set up factories to also produce chloride and sodium respectively that can be exported to other countries. We in the NDP are looking at setting up factories along the coast, 4 factories. One in Volta region, one in Greater Accra region, another in Central region, and one in Western region, to produce massive amounts of salt. Now, seawater is free, and it is the natural resource for production of salt. And so we propose the development of salt winning program, where factories will be built in those 4 regions, a first-class factory for producing salt with attractive packaging will give us an excellent exportable product and at the same time create jobs for Ghanaians. The rock salt that we produce can be exported to the oil-producing countries of Africa and other places. Currently, oil-producing countries in the whole of Africa import the salt that they need for their oil fields. The National Democratic Party sees an opportunity for Ghana to increase its revenue base through the export of rock salt to oil-producing countries, if nowhere else, at least for Africa. A developed salt industry can earn Ghana more than gold is earning us today. The second thing I want to talk about in the trade and industry is gold refining. Ladies and gentlemen, too much lip service has been paid to gold refining and nothing has been done up to date. An NDP government will establish a first-class gold refinery using international contacts and partners who have credibility in the world, because Ghana has to stop exporting our gold in the form that we are doing at the moment. A gold refinery will give our gold added value. This will also introduce more transparency and accountability in our mining sector, because we will then be able to monitor how much gold Ghana actually mines at every point of time. The refinery will create huge employment and strengthen our monetary system, because we'll have some gold to back our currency. I think I can leave out the women and children and go straight to the education and youth, because everybody knows what I do with women, and I am really passionate about that. But I'll just say a few words about the young women, because to our young women who are really at the threshold of adulthood, I'd like to encourage them to take their education and vocations seriously, and not to be swayed by negativities which may destroy their future. I want to show to our young women that as a mother who was once a youth myself, I understand the prevailing problems. I do. I understand the problems that they may be facing, but they should remain focused, really remain focused, and keep their eyes on their passion. Keep their eyes on their passion and their ambition while using their youth to acquire beneficial skills, which will then empower them forever. I'll just say a few words about the youth and I'm done. No, I think I'll say something about, I have a lot of things to say. Thank you very much. Law and order. Ladies and gentlemen, the pinnacle and sustenance of any democracy is our respect and adherence to law and order. We therefore cannot progress as a nation when citizens are living in a state of insecurity and fear of their lives in their own homes. Families are living in fear because of the audacity of armed robbers who are developing more and more sophisticated ways to terrorize and pillage our communities. Our security agencies do not have the adequate manpower to deal effectively with those that flout the law. The prevalence of white-collar crime means that we need to invest heavily in our serious fraud office. This is very important because I think a lot of our security agents cannot identify the white-collar, serious white-collar fraud in our system. And I believe that if we are able to recruit dynamic minds and ensure constant skills training, we will have a very strong serious fraud office, or people who can at least identify white-collar crime. In law and order, houses are built without permits, while our waterways are blocked by the haphazard construction of structures without the proper planning and mapping of the said area. In some instances, the law clearly states that the area is to be preserved as a green belt. But regardless of the law, individuals use their political strength and power to build in those designated areas, which destroys the environment as a result of the felling of trees and destruction of fauna and flora. City and town planning departments must work again, and Ghanaians have to adhere to the laws on planning, regardless of which party is in power. Stringent supervision will be introduced by the NDP to make our cities beautiful again. While talking about planning, let me also state that let me also comment on the haphazard naming of the streets and roads that already had names. Some of the streets did have names. Why change it and give them new names? The consequences of this action is the expense of having to change and reprint letterheads, tax forms, bank forms, etc., etc., etc. All these are things that are needed by companies or individuals. And we are having to change our letterhead addresses and so on. This process was not well thought out and has been done okay. We need to set Ghana on a path that right is right and wrong is definitely wrong, regardless of your political persuasion. We must see that right is right and wrong is wrong. I believe in restructuring our law and order apparatus so that Ghanaians can trust in the integrity of our laws and in those that enforce them. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, Ghana needs a dynamic approach to leadership, an innovative approach that will chart a new future for all of us. The National Democratic Party believes in innovation. We believe in the innovative leadership that responds to the aspirations of the Ghanaians today. What are these aspirations? Job security, a thriving economy, consistent and effective access to energy, a transparent and accountable government, availability of good health care and education. These are things we look up to NDP for. Leadership has a responsibility to inspire a society to create. The society will create and transform itself when leadership has a responsibility to ensure that the nation has peace and security as well. True leadership creates a society that ensures freedom for all people, while understanding that there is a responsibility to protect the common good of our nation. True leadership respects people's right to choose their future and therefore put them at the center of their own development. We in NDP believe in placing people at the center of development, advancing job creation for all, developing practical solutions to poverty alleviation, creating a society that is sensitive to the needs of the vulnerable groups, transforming the healthcare system and education, making access to energy a right and not a responsibility, empowering the youth. We in the NDP believe that our future is our nation, and so we should empower society. We are greater together as a nation with a common future and a goal. Our country, Ghana, progresses when everyone understands that to transform the society, we need unity in purpose and unity in thought. As president, I believe in inspiring hope in the building of our nation. It does not matter which party you belong to or whether you are non-partisan. It does not matter your ethnicity or religion. We should be together in focusing our issues to Ghana. Our growth as a country, as Ghana, should be the uniting force, should be our unifying focus. I will return us to national pride and patriotism. I will return to institutions and developmental sectors the integrity that fosters growth. Indeed, I will make us once again the beacon of Africa, setting the pace for the continent to follow. Ladies and gentlemen, as a nation, we cannot be left behind. We cannot settle for better. As a nation, we cannot strive for better while other countries are within the global economy are reaching for the best. We need to chart a new future for Ghana with innovative leadership that believes in reaching for the best, and that is the NDP. Thank you very much.
Branch manager. Of course, I accept only quality and affordable printed souvenirs for my promotional campaigns.
I'm the head of academic affairs of a very important institution in Ghana. Of course, we only deal with quality, reliable printing companies for our institution's printing materials. I'm talking about appointed time printing.
Appointed Time Printings. We take pride in our extensive print scope that transform your ideas into captivating visual masterpieces. We delve into the core objectives and vision of each print project. Precision printing is at the heart of our printing process as we meet your tight deadlines. Our rigorous inspection, color verification, and overall printing excellence are assured. 20 years of printing excellence. It's always a pleasure working with you to create a vibrant, dazzling printing experience that gives you a masterpiece. Appointed Time Printing, your world of quality and affordable printing.
Oh, Jose, and I media semesio. Canny pan, Nasana, Mushiana, what me. A drain I didn't quano. Kingdom Garlic Bitters. No, not benefiting. Me benefiting wine. Also, got told dear. Abrewa, the smile, Abrente, Mishuve. One antique crana wabre. No Kingdom Garlic Bitters and any capsules. Nanya, what ya bribia.
Kingdom Garlic Bitters and the capsules. Assembly, a devil when I'm when I say, send your name, wife, company one personal. Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules and tea. Says ya and password.
Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules. A many genius from Debefi, Abrebia. Obebia o de poor hauno. Edroba kupa wihiane tremendous capsules. Tremendous capsules. Esiesie uma uye obesima. Edro yi ubenya bi obebia yeton robia. Kingdom Herbal. No challenger.
Watching DSTV means getting the TV you love, but staying connected means getting something extra. Stunning. Extra matches, extra dramas, the best local and the world's biggest. Extra laughter, music, movies, and extra vim.
I love it.
Just stay connected or reconnect and get upgraded to the next higher package at no extra cost. Charlie, we got you. Keep watching. Get more with DSTV.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension, just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be late, of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. You go be the luckiest. Copy from Georgia be luckiest. From not the cause she be luckiest. Yeah, you go be luckiest. No matter what you're luckiest. Everybody go be the luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Send your God off a boom. If you put it at so would the coming of the Son of Man be. Is that his car?
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompts and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
This week on Cook Africa, the people of Akwafu and Lolobi, I'm coming your way. Conceptions when it comes to Ghanaian politics. To you, is it about service or survival?
I don't see how politics can ever be an issue of survival. Politics, I tell people, is a calling, a service. You must have the heart to want to serve the people.
Why do you have to be an MP to help your people?
I'm not too sure you're going to invite me to come on this your show, just maybe. Maybe the first reason why you invited me today is because I'm an MP. And so once I occupy that position, I'm able to leverage on that now to get things that either two I would have struggled or not even be able to get at all.
Honorable Fred Kesi Agbenyo, the MP for Guan constituency, and we are cooking Ogbakuse. That is a traditional meal for the Guans. So stay tuned at exactly 5 p.m. on Metro TV this Saturday. You can't miss this for anything.
Let's welcome the time ladies.
Say you're malaria, but no, not too far.
your man phone to me Fedribi. Abofra on the Fiedumiano, ain't me Fedri.
A hospital and NASA lab. Me and you a 3-day monshushimu. And son away to me and Medroyibi.
Kayo, set time no. A TIME.
Ubenya be at all, ever over the counter medicine sellers.
Any herbal shop to do an amu.
FDA Aji a Jadian Kratway at home.
Revive your energy and vitality to increase your performance.
Bring out your energetic, passionate self. Go further. Chase the fan wherever it leads and stay refreshed for more. Take the lead, win the crown, and transform to your higher self. Choose blue and unleash the true you. Choose your rhythm. Explore and discover more of your persona. Blue Jeans Energy Drink for high performance and endurance. In shops nationwide. For bulk purchase, contact Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 028 128 190 0550 01 0000.
This advert is FDA approved.
Wabedum tamaso. Hey, J. Watch it, na learning. Missy, watch.